purging is at last at hand. The day of doom is here. All that is evil, all that are lies, your parents, your ears, those who would call themselves your judges, those who have lied and corrupted the earth, they shall all be cleansed.
Okay, just waiting on Sir Kenneth, but we got good Sir New Scotland, aka Nova Scotia Tony. I'll make him speaker, why not? It's a nice and cozy, small space. We're all among friends, so nothing to worry about. You should be speaker, good sir. If not, send me a request and I'll make you speaker.
Hello and off.
Okay. Waiting on Sir Kenneth. Good sir, New Scotland, go ahead. You may speak.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Perfect, perfect. This is Going Fatigue, God Hates America, Part 1. I'm going to say God Hates America Edition, Part 1. All right. Yeah, no, I mean,
America. Death
what
to
is
Israel.
there to say? Go ahead, good sir.
Sorry, I was just going to say death to America, death to Israel. I think we're seeing it right now in action.
Well, yeah, we're seeing it right now in action. What do I begin with? I mean, if you don't know what we're talking about, dear listeners and readers, right? The Epstein stuff, and, you know, like, what was it, 3 million pages or something? So it implicates everyone. It's not just Bannon, it's not just Drumpf, but it's also the entire fucking ecosystem, right? Like 4chan, fucking Poll, and all these other things. Turns out all of these things were set up by mods and these internet personalities, which also had ties to Epstein, right? And so this entire fucking like culture war bullshit, right? There's a high likelihood that it was all like manufactured to begin with. Okay, there we go. Sir Kenneth is here. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Request to speak, approve. All right. Sir Kenneth, my lovely co-host, is here.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Sir Kenneth, ever the optimist, I see. All right. There we go. Sir Kenneth, what do you think about this whole I gotta ask you this. Right? I know that you and I, if we're gonna be strictly empirical about this subject, right? We have to be fair and we have to say, well, there isn't definitive evidence that the alt-right, the fucking nationalists, whatever, they're all like co-opted and manufactured. But honestly, Sir Kenneth, like, I'm looking at how they behave and how they're gooning off to like a purple-haired like anime cartoon or whatever the fuck. And I'm inclined to just say that, you know what, I may not have all the evidence, but my instincts are saying that this is probably true.
It's welcome to the age of kayfabe. Welcome to the age of kayfabe. This is what we're dealing with here. I mean, you look at, we're arguing. We got people that are fapping to an anime girl on like from a video game. Oh, you got millions of people fapping to anime girls from video games, but the other one that's interesting to me, is like we now have the new Epstein controversy.
Yeah.
This is like, okay, for starters, I think we all know at this point nobody is going to prison over the Epstein files. Nobody who's named in the Epstein files is going to go to prison. There was like, this is another fucking Trump circus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all this is. It's a circus. And, if you're sitting there, basically, if you're sitting there cheering for one side or another, to go to a slightly different metaphor, you're that rube sitting in the stands at a wrestling match that's convinced that, oh boy, this time, Gus Good Guy is really gonna beat the shit out of Boris Baddie. I mean, it's completely staged. It's it's also interesting to me that the country has split into two separate factions, and essentially the Epstein files are useless because it doesn't matter. You could release a picture of Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein surrounded by a dozen topless underage women in a hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
And Clinton and left wing people would be like, oh, that's obviously AI generated.
Mm-hmm.
You could put Donald Trump in that picture and you'd get the same response from Trump supporters. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
the great achievement of artificial intelligence, has not been that it made us smarter. It's that it provides the world with plausible deniability for anything you don't want to see or anything you don't want to hear. Well, I don't, well, that
Yep.
goes
Yep.
against my beliefs. Well, then it's obviously AI generated.
The reverse Turing test, Sirkin
Yeah.
asks. When will the machines become human? Well, you gotta ask, when will the humans become machines?
Yeah, I mean, that is where we're at. That really is. You have people who come to,
They're goyim, Sirkin as. They
they're
ain't people.
goyim.
They're goyim.
They're goyim. The goyim come here. They read whatever, they
Yeah.
repeat whatever they think they're supposed to repeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know that,
Exactly.
they repeat whatever they think they're supposed to repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really cares at this point whether it's true or not. The one I found that I think is extremely revealing is I've noticed if you're on Facebook, you will see that there are just absolute tons of AI generated slop. Tons of
Yeah.
the stuff. And with everyone, you will see you will also see that you will also see a bunch of boomers saying things like, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but it ought to be true.
It ought to be true. Yeah, exactly.
It ought to be true. It ought to be true. I want to believe it, so therefore I'm gonna believe
Yeah.
it. And that's
Speaking of which, speaking of believing things that are true, all right. Let me actually read this, because I think it's actually relevant to what you're talking about. Okay. Paul Atreides is one of these like Goyim accounts, right? No black girls allowed on Epstein Island, and then one of these other Goyim response, I wonder why, ? And they have like a picture of a blonde, right? Okay, and then we've got Said Moham 1527, retired average Said Mohammadi enjoyer. Okay, he responds, America is a pornocracy in every aspect of their society. Amerimut Wignuts think that Epstein's preference for trafficking and abusing white girls is a flex somehow. All right, and then Agnonsens says, and then he responds, okay, I've said it before, the word Wignut, quote unquote, has no meaning anymore. But there is something to be said for the especially slavish kind of Shabbos Goy that goes, quote, Epstein only raping white kids means we are the hottest, unquote. Epstein was an explicitly anti-white, see the usage of Goy constantly, Jewish supremacist rapist. Anyone attempting to depict him as anything else has some kind of agenda. America is a society with 1,000 Leo Franks and 1,000,000 Shabbos Goys willing to look away as their women and children are raped because they think morality is gay. Oh dear, Sirkenaz. Oh dear.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to come up with like a way of refuting that, but I'm really running into problems. I mean, okay, this is not the first time this has happened. The Tate brothers are fucking, sex traffickers, groomers, and
exactly.
pornographers.
Yeah.
And look at all the ardent fans they got. My own personal feeling.
Exactly.
Pimps and pornographers get the stick. You can burn them at it. You can impale them on it. I don't care.
Yeah. Exactly. No, like this entire thing, and just to kind of go back to what I was talking about, and you were talking about the age in which you've got a convenient excuse to kind of justify all your beliefs. I'm actually inclined, like I said, I don't have 100% proof that this is true, but I'm inclined to believe that this entire fucking thing is just theater and it's like the fucking goy slop. It was fed to them on the troughs, and the goyim slurped it up, and then 5 seconds later, they're like, oh, these are my beliefs now. It's like, well, I'm a fucking racist, pagan, whatever the fuck, white nationalist, ethno-state, this, that, and the other thing. And I think that's what's going on. It's just like this weird solipsistic obsession, right? And because of that, like these good sirs were saying, it's just like, well, pornography and rape and all these other things. Oh, Epstein is raping all the white women, therefore we are the superior race. I mean that's the kind of shit that you're dealing with here, man. It's like,
Oh yeah, it's
yeah,
like this.
yeah,
Yeah, I've just been really disappointed that the right, to go to like a slightly different tactic. The right used to be the hardcore pro Second Amendment people. The right
yeah,
to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
yeah,
Alex Pretty gets shot. It's like, well, he shouldn't have been carrying a concealed handgun. It's like, motherfucker, he had a
yeah.
permit to carry it. That, you should be saying, gee, maybe in this case, the ICE agents overreacted. That doesn't mean that, like, you shouldn't be doing deportations. I mean, that's a different question. People are like, well, he kicked a headlight like a week before this. Well, what does that have to do with him getting shot a week later?
But
Yeah.
the cruelty is the point, right? Like that it's not about, it's just K5A, and the cruelty is really the point. So if you question how they deploy their tactics or you question ICE, you're questioning the cruelty
I
of
don't even
the
think
threat.
I think it's worse than that. I think it's not even the point. I think the reason they engage in cruelty and theater is because they're just a bunch of golems, right? They're a bunch of goyim, they're a bunch of golems, and again, like, if it is the case, and like I said, I don't have 100% proof, right? But if it is the case that 4chan, all these other places, for the last 10, 15 years, were just like a big psyop operation, and this is all just fucking psychodrama, I think, good sir, it's not even that cruelty is the point. It's just that they're a bunch of nihilistic, boorish, completely irrelevant goyim, and so their inclinations, their emotions, their appetites, they always kind of go in whatever direction the cowherd whips them, right? Like the cowherd whips you this way, the goyim runs that way, right? Goyim goes left, cowherd whips that way, right? And so on and so forth. I think that's what's going on, man. I don't think, they're not people, right? They're a bunch of goyim. I don't think this is like, well, we want to be base fascists because that's what we really want. No, I think it was implanted into them, and because they're so fucking pliable, they just fucking sit there and take it. And that's what it is, man. I mean, I don't, like, especially after this Epstein stuff, like, what are these, like, dissident right, new right, whatever the fuck they call themselves, right? They're like, oh, Amelia, right? The fucking purple-haired, like, anime girl that they're gooning off to, jacking off to, or whatever, right? Like Sir Kenneth was saying, she's like this, she's like this, there's like a mini video game in, like, 2023 that, one of these, like, government websites for the UK, they kind of put up, right? To do, like, diversity training or whatever. I forget what it was called, right? And then they're like, oh, we're gonna turn her into a character and whatnot. That's what they're engaged in, man. Like, they're a bunch of goyim, right? If you whip them hard enough, they're gonna go and be engaged in something else. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, I think there is definitely, Trump is doing these things to get a response. If you really wanted to go hard after immigration, you do a lot better taking those agents to the Mexican border.
Yeah.
But Texas is largely a red state. Texas won't give you the riots. Minnesota, I mean, they knew they were going to get riots when they showed up in Minnesota. They knew they were going to get riots when they showed up in Portland. I don't know if the cruelty is the point, but in this case, the riots certainly were the point, because the riots give you these pictures of, oh, look at they give you pictures you could beat the Democrats with in the 2026 election.
Yeah. I mean, I think that ship has sailed, though, because I was looking at the results for that Texas District 9 or whatever it was called, right? And I think Trump won that place by 25 points. I think Romney won it by 21 points. I think fucking Joe, John McCain or whatever the fuck his name was, he won it by 19 points. Sir Kenaz, what do you think the result was last night?
What was the result?
Democrat victory by 17 points.
Okay.
In Texas. In a plus 20 Republican place.
That cannot be good.
The Goyim are finished, man. Holy shit. You see this crap and you're like, what the fuck are these Goyim doing, man? Right? They're just like, dude, look, if you're gonna be fucking fascist or evil or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself and LARP as, like, do it under the radar, man. Like, if you're gonna videotape yourself engaging in cruelty, and then you're gonna do like this vice signaling thing of like, yeah, man, I just want to line them all up and shoot them in the face, right? And then one of your buddies, he tries to double you up on this and whatever the fuck, and then like 12 other people are talking like this, like, you're gonna fucking lose, man. Like, nobody likes this thing, number one. Number two, they can see from a mile away what the fuck you're doing. By the way, just so we're clear, let me just double check this. Okay, Lee, whatever the fuck her name is, $2.5 million. Okay, so this is for that election I was telling you about, Sirkinaz, where like the Democrats won. Okay, so Lee spent $2.5 million for the Republicans. Sirkinaz, what do you think the Democrats spent?
About 2.5 million, let's say.
The Democrats spent 380,000.
Okay.
So they only spent like 20, and they still fucking won, but the doom cometh, Sir Kenneth. Oh my god, let me check this result. 15% win. By the way, this is like Trump won this by 25 points. Romney won it by 21. McCain won it by like something 19 or 18. This is like insane, man. This is actually insane. Texas State Senate, number 9, yeah. Oh my gosh. Democrat plus 17.
What I'm chalking this up to is they aura farmed too hard and paid too much attention to
They didn't
online.
even aura farm, man. Bro, they didn't even aura farm. They shot a guy in the back, right? They shot a guy in the back. And then they're like, well, he was just a fucking domestic terrorist. He fucking deserved it, right? They were doing all this tough guy talk, right? Unrest built up on the streets. And then, why did I call this God Hates America, right? I called it God Hates America edition because, like, God Almighty himself, he's like, you know what? You need to get absolutely smited, but not yet. We're gonna, like, elongate this a bit, right? And so then the Epstein files comes out, and what do we find out? We find out, right? And, again, we don't have 100% proof, but we find out that there's evidence to suggest that all of this was a psychological operation to begin with. The 4chan shit, the nationalism shit, all the shit about, Muslim migrant rape gangs or whatever the fuck. It was all like Epstein, Mossad, and their bros. It's just like America, death to America, humiliate America as it goes down the toilet, man. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Give me the popcorn. Get me my popcorn. Oh, man. Breaking news. Chinese satellites are now revealing in real time the location of all U.S. strategic air assets deployed in the Middle East. This may pose a significant risk to the security of U.S. forces in the region. A single strike by quadcopters can damage a large... Yeah, Sir Kenaz. Like I said, God Hates America edition.
Yeah, I mean, the country America turned its back on God. We were one of the most religious countries in the West for a long time. I
Yep.
mean, long after, America still had a very strong Christian presence even after Europe secularized.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as late as the 1980s, fundamentalists, even the Bible, what we call the Bible thumpers, or like I think in England they call them the God botherers. Those people had a big influence on American politics. They really don't anymore on anything except our Israel policy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, so much bullshit. So much bullshit. But like, I mean, I could literally go through all of the comments, and everyone is just like, this Epstein stuff shows once and for all that God Almighty has abandoned America. Let me actually read this. This is actually a relevant topic. This is, let me just read this comment. Okay. Mike P. Tom Belavive. All right. It really doesn't surprise me that we now have confirmation that the alt-right was a Jewish project all along, with Bannon running point all along to get disenfranchised racists to vote for Trump. It worked back then, and to some extent, it is still working like a charm. I thought there may be some hope a couple years ago when it seemed like everyone was shitting on Israel. But the Jews managed to get that mostly under wraps and get the internet racist community, with some notable exceptions, behind Israel again. Frankly, it's pathetic. But Mike, I'm an internet racist and I don't support Israel. Okay, so do you support Palestine? No, I would never support the third world brownoids. I can't do that. Okay, so congrats. You are just Zionist filth and may as well tattoo a Star of David on your face. No, there is no third position. You're just a coward. What's funny is we don't really even see both sides guy shit that much anymore. They're now just openly supporting Israel. Oof, oof. Sir Kenaz, all the heavy hitters, man. All the heavy hitters. This Epstein thing, thanks to that, all the heavy hitters are out.
Well, I mean, again, it's just the Epstein thing, has been a circus since its inception.
Yeah.
It really has. It was a complete circus. I will say the one thing that jumps out at me that makes me think there's like something behind here is the way Donald Trump reacts every time somebody mentions the Epstein files. Because as with many other dementia patients, he no longer has a filter. He goes off on this terrified rant.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like, he's worried. I'm like, why are you, Don, why are you worried? You're never going to jail for this. Nobody on that
Well, he
list is
knows.
going to jail for this.
Yeah, well, why should he be worried about jail, Sir Kenaz? He's got fucking, like, some kind of cancer or something. He's probably gonna die soon. Why does he care about jail? He doesn't need to care about jail, right? Oh, this is an interesting comment. The modern right was an Israeli psyop carried out on 4chan. ... Wrong. Anglo-fascism is simply a direct response to the total failure of American foreign policy and the American-led world order from 2001 to 2008 during the early years of the global war on terror. It is not because of shitposting. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. So basically, they became like, they started hating immigrants and all this other shit because they couldn't win in Afghanistan. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
that means we fucked them up, basically.
I think what they managed to get was they managed to create a situation where they had people where they were able to get the attention of people who were really angry. I've always said I don't think it's a coincidence that the whole woke movement and the whole dissident right movement both formed right after Occupy Wall Street started, right at the moment when people started asking questions about income inequity.
Yeah.
All of a sudden from there, you start seeing, we have to support the rights of, we have to support
culture wars.
non-binary demisexual
Yeah.
rights.
The culture wars. The culture wars bullshit. Yeah, exactly. The culture wars bullshit.
It's, as I always say, it's amusing that the Groypers, many of whom were proudly calling themselves pro-white and white supremacists, it's like, you're following a gay Mexican.
Did they never figure that out? Or is it like,
it's like, following a guy who was basically dating Catboy Kami for a while. I mean, come on, again, to all our listeners, I couldn't really care less what consenting adults do in their bedroom, but there's also a matter of branding here. I mean, if I tried to present myself as a leader of the New Jersey Black Panthers, I'm sure somebody would notice the obvious. It's kind of like you're not noticing that, like, your pro-white leader ain't white.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah, man.
he's been, defending Epstein and also laughing at anyone who doesn't own a house right now in America because he owns one. So
I mean,
good
that's,
for
yeah,
him.
wonderful. That's like, this is the thing that pisses me off. Like, when you look at the history of the Nation of Islam, they went out of their way to help poor Negroes. They reached out to incarcerated Negroes. They were looking for the people who were on the bottom to help lift them up. Today's, like, pro-white people hate poor white people more than more than the shit libs do.
Yeah, because those black activists were actual Pan-African nationalists and had principles, right? Say what you will about them, but they had principles that they weren't willing to disregard.
Yeah, there are no
The thing
principles
is,
here. The principle.
the thing
Go
is,
ahead, Sarana.
no, it's all good, good sir. Go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, go ahead. My brain fart.
Oh, I was just gonna make a point with good Sir Tony, but like the only thing Fuentes cares about is that, look, I got a bunch of dumb hick followers. They're giving me money. How do I cash out and liquidate them? Right? Like for him, like what did Sir Malcolm say? They're like, oh, they're just a bunch of exit liquidity. So like when you talk about this shit of like nationalism, populism, patriotism, all of this shit is fake and gay, man. Right? The only thing they care about is, okay, can I get a monthly or a yearly subscription from you? Number one. Number two, how quickly can I use the outrage and all this other shit to make a quick buck? And number three, I'll just buy the house and fuck you, right? So, like, that's what this is, man. I mean, all this other shit about, okay, the movement, or, oh, we gotta look at long-term time horizons, 100 years. Buddy, everyone is too fucking busy grabbing the money and making a run for it, man. Right? None of this shit's gonna happen, right? That's the first thing. And the second thing is, they don't even believe in any of this shit, right? If they actually are like, oh my gosh, immigrants and immigration and whatever the fuck, buddy, they would be like some psycho outside with a gun shooting random Indian people, man, right? That's not what they're doing. They're like, oh, you military people, right? 25% of you are on food stamps, but that doesn't fucking matter. You need to listen to me. I'm a fucking white, whatever the fuck. My ancestors came on the Mayflower, whatever the fuck. And then you have to shoot the immigrants and the Indians or whatever, right? And so like, you look at this crap and it's just a bunch of goyim, pure goyim, man. Like it's like the example I always love to use is if you go to the late 1800s, right? What were the Chinese people doing? The Qing dynasty, what were they doing? They were smoking opium. They were all drugged out. They were all a bunch of junkies. And then you had a bunch of these like weird, like sects and these groups and these secret societies. And, they were practicing martial arts and all this other stuff. And then they're like, we got a bunch of magic talismans. The magic talismans ward off the bullets from the white barbarian. And not only that, our ancestors are behind us, and, China has not fallen in like, whatever, 4,000 years or whatever the fuck. And so this is all a fucking like last moment, like, you're watching the stage 4 bone cancer, you're watching the patient die off. That's what we're seeing with Western civilization, right? It's way more pathetic than the Qing dynasty, right? Because at least with them, they're like, you know what? Magic talismans will save me. I'm going to rush into battle. And then they get like riddled with bullets and blown up with artillery, right? What these fucking goyim, what do they believe? They're like, Elon Musk is going to fucking save us with the AI. And oh my gosh, bro, we're gonna go to Mars, and the fucking black and brown Untermensch, we're gonna destroy them with like death rays and laser guns and all the other high tech that we're soon about to get. Right? They don't even get off their ass like the Chinese did. Right? At least they marched into battle and got blown to bits. These fuckers are like, in their mom's basement, and they're like fapping off to whatever the fuck. Like, what's the name of that girl? Sir Kenneth? Like Amelia or whatever the fuck. Amelia, whatever the fuck, right? So they're like fapping off, gooning off to Amelia. And like, that's how the Western world ends, man. The Western world, Western civilization, Faustian man, whatever the fuck you want to call it, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years. How does it end? It ends with them in their mom's basement eating the Cheetos, fapping off, gooning off to Amelia.
Not with a bang, but with a boom, as T.S.
But
Eliot
with
might
goon.
say.
Exactly, bro. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think, there's a few things I find interesting that the entire conversation on the left. I mean, I'm old enough to remember, I was a leftist in the 80s. There was a huge concentration on income inequity, wealth redistribution, distrust of the power of big corporations, distrust of the power of big government. That was what being on the left was for most of the post-war period. Suddenly it got turned into, we don't have to care about poor people. In fact, it's cool to knock them for having no teeth and being poor and stupid. What's really important is we have to have these virtue signals to fly the same flags that big corporations do. I mean, they were celebrating Goldman Sachs, the organization that to me be called the vampire squid. They were celebrating as a huge win the fact that Goldman Sachs had a float in the NYC Gay Pride Parade.
Yeah.
These are not your friends, people.
And if Randy Weaver, if all of that Ruby Ridge stuff happened today, instead of conservatives going and protesting at the spot where the FBI was all amassed, they would be saying, "Go home." Like, why are you there?
Yeah, well,
They've given up their American right to protest.
Your wife and kids wouldn't have gotten shot if you didn't have a gun.
That's right. Just go home.
Yeah, on both sides, there's been this complete, again, late stage empire. The old rules of the game no longer apply. People are still using the names, but they're nothing like what they were.
Yeah, and I was thinking about what JMG said about the wealth pump. So the Iran thing this is them showing that they still have the hand on the spigot. Like we can send an armada and control this if we want. But
they can't though. That's the thing. They literally sent a single carrier battle group over, and I just laughed. I'm like, bro, even if you brought in all four like you did in June of last year, you still would be overwhelmed by how many missiles Iran has, right? It's a very simple equation: kilograms of TNT yield per square meter per day. All right, in a given geographical radius, who can inflict the highest number of that, right? If you're in West Asia, bro, Iran has you outgunned by at least 1 or 2 orders of magnitude, right? And enough, we can fucking nuke them. I mean, if you're having that conversation, then mutually assured destruction is a thing, right? We're talking about conventional, right? But in terms of conventional, yeah, I mean, America would get blown out the water, right? Which is why I think they're gonna pussy out and blink, right? I mean, Brother Nalji disagrees with me. I think he still thinks that there's gonna be an attack. I'm getting very skeptical. I'm seeing a lot of nothing burgers and all this other shit. And this Epstein thing, I think what's gonna happen, Sirkanaz is correct. I think each side will say, well, it's just all AI, it's all fake. But the thing is, what this is actually going to do is it's going to increase distrust amongst everybody, and the dehumanizing rhetoric is going to go up exponentially, right? So we're going to see big Rwanda accelerate, right? Like what happened in Rwanda, right? Everyone was the dehumanizing rhetoric, the radio shows, all this other crap. Everyone was quote unquote simply pretending. At first, it was all just words. It was all fighting words, tough words. And then one day, the machetes came out and the firearms came out, etc., etc. And that's what I expect to happen, man. This is a completely once again, God hates America. God absolutely despises America, and you can see it with regard to what's happening, man. It's just big Rwanda in motion, right? It was in slow motion a few months ago. Now it's beginning to pick up speed, right? And when the shooting starts, Sir Kenneth, I don't think it's going to remain like wrestling K-Fob after that point.
No, it's going to go from a work to a shoot. I mean, That is, it's going to go from everybody is playing to nobody's playing. I mean, I will say, though, Israel doesn't seem to be very confident about America coming in to help them. There's like, I think it was Walla,
Yeah.
a right-wing Israeli newspaper was saying, we may have to launch an attack on Iran on our own. And it's like,
All right, bro, go for it, man. I say he
go
should
for it.
fucking
Yeah,
do it,
I
man.
mean, I don't. The entire population, 95% of the population of Israel lives in an area that's the size of Greater Toronto. I mean, the city, like that,
Yeah.
Iran has an awful lot of missiles. They can do an awful lot of damage to an area the size of Greater Toronto.
Yes, sir.
That's, yeah, they may pull out the nukes, at which point Pakistan may note that we got a few nukes pointing at you, Shlomo.
Yeah. Yeah, like, the nukes don't save you, man. Like, the nukes just mean that you get destroyed earlier, right? So, okay, so you keep on using conventional. I mean, then you just fucking lose, right? Okay, so you kill a bunch of, I don't know, women and kids in a hospital in Isfahan or whatever, and they'll just keep on hitting your stuff. Like, all of Israeli society shuts down if you hit the civilian infrastructure, whether it's the desalination plants, the power plants, all these other things. Because like Sir Kenneth was saying, right? It's very, very limited, concentrated infrastructure, right? And so, like, all these fucking goyim, they're like, yeah, Epstein is actually based. He's like the Ubermensch because he's fucking and raping white women and kids and babies. And I'm like, okay, no, you've lost the point. You're a fucking goyim. You're a fucking golem. Shut the fuck up. This is completely, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's beyond the pale with regard to what these fuckers are saying, right? And like, new right, dissident right, whatever they want to call themselves, they've completely disqualified themselves. I don't think after this point they make a comeback, right? They can go back to the fringes of society. They can fap off to Amelia Sans Merci or whatever the fuck they call that latest goonbot, the latest iteration of their goonbot. But that's all it is, Sir Kenneth. They're gonna be jacking off, fapping off to goonbots, and that's where they should remain. If this is kind of like what they stand for, basically.
I think we're also going to see a lot of the color revolution tactics that have been used by the United States against American citizens for a decade.
Yeah.
Those techniques are losing steam. I mean, the whole point of the color revolution social media stuff was you spend a couple weeks really winding people up. If you're lucky, it becomes a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
You do this for 10 years, people start developing a tolerance for it. I mean, I think they've created real polarization. The problem is, I don't think they are still in control. Like, they're not in control of the revolution the way the color revolutions had, like, at least some ability to pull the strings.
Mm-hmm.
You've now got a population where 50%, like, America is divided into two sides.
Yeah.
On one side, you've got the Democrats who hate the Republicans and the maggots. On the other side, you've got the Republicans who hate the demon rats and the liberals, and one of them thinks Nazi, communist. These people, we have Americans think 50% of the population is ontologically evil.
Mm-hmm.
You don't vote, if Adolf Hitler is running for president, if a Mao Zedong is running for president, you don't really worry about fair elections. You're like, look, we can't have a genocide in the United States. We have to cancel the elections.
Mm-hmm. Or we have to kill the dear leader. Yeah.
Except the only difference is who should be the leader.
Exactly.
Right now, if Trump tried to take over and just say no elections in 2026 because we are dealing with multiple uprisings in the United States, we have to put down. We'll hold the elections after those, after we get control of Minneapolis and say a couple other cities where we're seeing rioting.
Yeah.
There would be a lot of the same people that cheered for Alex Preddy's death would be cheering Trump on, like, you're finally draining the swamp. If, on the other hand, somebody, the Democrats staged a coup, they shot Trump and Vance in the White House, and they came out and they said, okay, the era of Trump is over. We're having a military takeover until we can have free, fair elections where the Democrats will win. There's a huge chunk of people that would cheer them on.
Yeah.
That's a real problem.
Big Rwanda, Sir Kenneth. Big Rwanda. That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's like largely we created it with social media. I mean, we've got people up at fever pitch. I don't think they can get a lot angrier just with like hurty words, but I do think that like, okay, the longer the ICE protests continue, the more dead protesters we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at some point, we're going to start seeing a couple of dead ICE agents.
Yes, sir.
And once that happens, you're then going to have, that's the excuse Trump needs to maintain law and order.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have the financial wherewithal to do it? Does he have enough military backing to do it? For the time being, he still has the money to pay salaries for the military.
Yeah, for the time being.
That's for the time being. Like, come back 2 years or 5 years from now, it may be a whole different story. In which case, we might still have a military takeover. It's just different military takeovers at different bases.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the partisan argument has been happening the last few days about whether or not he backed down in Minnesota from, once again, to your guys' blue dress, gold dress partisan nature of the conversation. Like the right wing saying, yeah, we got everything we want. And the left wing is saying, we're taking this as a W.
Okay, the one thing that interests me about Minnesota is Frey and Waltz were adamant, we're not going to help with these illegal deportations. ICE is the problem. We've got to get ICE out of here. Tom Homan talked to them. Within days, Minnesota State Police were helping break up anti-ICE gatherings. Tom Waltz not only announced he wouldn't run for a third term as governor, he said in another meeting, I will never, go for another political office again.
Is that right?
That's right. What did they say? I mean, Frey is still running his mouth, but Frey isn't stopping the police from breaking up anti-ICE protests.
Mm-hmm.
What did Homan, what did Trump say to them that led them to back this far down?
Exactly. All right, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Ornov Jindal in the house. All right, let's make him speak.
Ornov!
All right.
All
right, we gotta get his take on God hates America, and all the shit that we're seeing. All right, I'm gonna make you speaker, Sir Ornov. Give it a moment, and we should be able to hear you speak. Oh, did you send me a request? Who sent me a request? Ornov, approve. All right.
Somebody requested. Okay.
There we go. I approved. Give it a moment. We're talking about the Epstein files and all the fallout from that, but Sir Ornov, how much does God hate America?
I don't know. Does even God, recognize America? It's like I was discussing, in general, what the new things are coming up in the Epstein file, and my mother, I shared it in the group also. It's it's a place full of demons.
It's a satanic construction put together by the devil.
Yeah. I mean, and look, you guys do what you want to do. It's the problem is that their Western sort of all these imports try to then do this consent shit with us, that look at you should do this, you should that.
Yeah.
That irritates me. That shit irritates me, that we are getting lectured from these people.
They're a bunch of goyim, man. They're a bunch of absolute goyim. Yeah.
I think we're all just 2-bit players. We're just a backdrop to their internal psychodrama. None of us have any agency in their worldview.
And the hilarious thing with these goyim is that they themselves don't believe in anything. Everything that's in their head was implanted into them by like Mossad and Israeli intelligence over like 1.5, 2 decades, right? Once again, I don't have 100% proof of that, but it's likely, it's a likely possibility based on what we're seeing, right? And like, let me actually read this, okay. Okay, Joliet Moontier. Basically, this is the current state from the 4chan Anons after all this shit with Epstein. Okay, this is like an anonymous board. Okay, I spent the last few years of my life defending pedophiles. Trump raped the kids. Elon raped kids. My retard liberal friends were correct all along. I feel like a fucking moron. Okay, and then Ashoka responds, I have zero sympathy for these people. I mean, he or she should use the word goyim, not people. They're not people. Okay, you are a fucking moron. You spent every day of the last decade blinding yourself to the obvious truth because hating and harming innocent people were easier for you than accepting that your idols are fake. It's too late to be redeemed. There we go. Oh yeah, baby. God hates America is getting maximized. Woo! We're seeing it, Sir Kenneth. We're seeing the smiting of Sodom and Gomorrah right in front of our eyes. It's gonna be great. I love it, man. All right, there we go. Good Sir Will is here. All right, we got everyone in here, man. Holy shit, everyone's here. Excellent, excellent, man. Good Sir Will, you are speaker. God hates America. Please elaborate. Go ahead.
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know what just or morally righteous God, if there is a God out there, could have any love or any sympathy or any kind of good feeling towards a nation like the so-called United States of America. It's hard to imagine what possibly good there could be about America at this point. If there isn't anything good about this country, the negatives outweigh it absolutely. I mean, we really are just run by a bunch of fucking evil ass pedophiles.
Here,
Like,
here.
Here, here, good
people,
sir. Here. I got some good news, sir. Just quick interruption. Sir Kenaz, I got some good news. Sir Malcolm just woke up. He can show up in about an hour. So we're just have to keep.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so we're just gonna keep running this space. This is gonna be one of our marathon shows. So people will come in, people will drop out, whatever. We're good with that, right? So okay, hooray for that. But no, exactly, Sir Will, absolutely right. I mean, like, like that fucking thing of like conspiracy theories. Turns out all the fucking conspiracy theories were correct, man. QAnon, all the shit was correct. It's just that their guy was the fucking pedophile all along.
But yeah, sir, enough. Like, I was just thinking in a sense that, this like elite behavior everywhere across the globe, it's kind of very similar. Like in India, like there's a very funny case. Like we have the Supreme Court in India. So like one of the very top lawyers and judges, like last year he's like in his 70s. So I don't know who allows him to tweet first of all, but he tweeted like that, oh, I only like if any female lawyer gives me the eye, I actually give her a very favorable treatment and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like there was a huge sort of backlash and everything. And few weeks back, that same guy gave a speech on women's empowerment
Yeah,
in a law
they
firm.
always fucking do that, man. They always
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
do
like
that.
that shit irritates me way more than like that like
Westerners are such fucking goy, man. They're fundamentally evil when they do that, right? Like, they themselves engage in pedophilia and all this other bestiality, cannibalism, all this other crap, right? By the way, cannibalism, yes, you heard that right, dear listeners and readers. The Epstein files say there is cannibalism, right? And then they go around the world telling Muslims and Indians and Africans, you're fucking barbaric. You're all a bunch of fucking barbaric, and we're like the superior race or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah, it really makes me laugh that the people who are saying this, like the captive dreamers of the world saying this is a nothing burger, they just spent the last 2 years like getting angry because black people wash their chicken and have dead batteries in their smoke detectors. But like this shit's been going on and you people are cool with that?
They
fucking course they are. They don't have any rules.
they got no principles, man. They got no. They're a bunch of goyim. They don't believe in anything. It's just like because they're like goyim and they're golem for the Jews, right? They just get programmed. Like, I don't even think like because they're such low and inferior life forms, I don't think they can even experience hatred properly. Does that make sense, right? I think they can't even hate immigrants properly. I think what it is, it's just fucking
Makes
programming.
sense.
No, bro, like, okay, if you see an earthworm, right? Can the earthworm feel certain emotions? I guess it can, right? But certain higher emotions, it can't, right? Because it doesn't have like the brain or whatever. Like, I think the goyim are just like that as well. It's just like, well, we hate fucking immigrants. We gotta kick the Muslims out, and Africans are dirty, and I don't know, Indians shit on the streets all the time. I think all of that is just implanted. I don't think they believe in any of that, number one. And number two, I think it's just fucking psychodrama. I think it's just inputted in their heads. And so it's like, we gotta deport 40 million immigrants or whatever the fuck and do this, that, and the other thing. And oh, if a bunch of kids get put in cages, whatever, like, I think they're incapable of feeling these emotions. Does that make sense? Right? So,
But
so in that, yeah,
but I think just enough, like it is like an institutionalized thing, like what Illich wrote, like Ivan Illich wrote about the school system. Like
yeah,
after, like if a huge percentage of the population is doing this, then it is a systematic thing.
yeah,
I don't think so. It's
yeah,
like this is a very deliberate sort of thing
yeah,
that
yeah, bro.
Americans did to their own population. And like, to be fair, it worked for a while. Like it worked for 60, 70 odd years. Like, like you need, for an
Exactly, bro.
empire, you need
Exactly.
loyal citizens.
Exactly.
You need loyal.
Bro, you bang on the money. Thank you, Sir Arnold. Exactly. It is systematic. And you know what it's systematic of? It's systematic of showing all of us that America was always fucking detritus all along. It wasn't an empire. It wasn't a nation. It was just fucking detritus. Because whether it's the education system, whether it's the family upbringing, whether it's all of the above, what does it get you at the very end after 7, 8, 9, 10 decades? It gets you a bunch of sheep. It gets you a bunch of goyim, and they don't believe in anything. They don't have any ideologies. They don't believe in anything. They just go along with what their Jewish overlords tell them to. That's the result, man. That is the systematic, materialistic, deterministic, historical, inevitable result, right?
You
And we're
know,
seeing it. Yeah,
one thing is that this country was always a fucking Epstein Island.
yeah,
Like, this
bro.
isn't exactly the United States, but you just start with Christopher Columbus. That guy was basically the Epstein.
Yeah, bro.
And
Yeah, bro.
you look at the amount of rape that was in, the slave trade. You look at shit like the Phoenix program. You look at the U.S. backing shit like Pinochet, who had his own little rape dungeons, the whole Colonia Dignidad thing. You look at the fact that 23% of U.S. veterans who are in prison, so that's the incarcerated veteran population,
Yeah.
23% of them are sex offenders.
Oh, I know that, bro. Exactly. They have very like compared to the normal population, they have very high incidences of like violent crime. And like for so many years, we heard this bullshit cope of like, oh, they were traumatized and whatever. Oh, shut the fuck up, bitch. You went to Afghanistan and Iraq to blow up innocent women and kids. Spare me your
I'll
fucking
go even
bullshit.
further.
Yeah, yeah,
Within the military prison system, so within military jurisdiction,
yeah,
60% of uh, service members who have been incarcerated in the military prison system, and this was from 2015, so this number may have gone up or down, but 60% of them have been convicted of sex crimes,
yeah.
child
I'm
sex
re-
crimes. So this is a very systemic thing within the U.S. Armed Forces. I don't have any fucking respect for anyone who joins the U.S. Armed Forces. I never really did in the first place, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
Irredeemable military.
God
I'm
hates
reading
America. God hates
I'm
America,
reading
bro.
over I'm reading Overthrow by Stephen Kinzer, and he goes into like all the stuff that you're referring to, Sir Will, like just the history of how fucking shitty these people have been, and accumulating in like the Dulles brothers, who I was unfamiliar with a lot of what they had done, and what a fucking shit
Exactly, bro.
show.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. We got good Sir Damilola. Hello, good Sir Damilola, all the way from Nigeria, West Africa. Good sir, does God hate America? Please answer.
Well, I think it's a country that claims to be some Christian values, and I find it weird when they say that they are Christian, but like it's not evidence in the way they behave and the way they speak. Like it's weird. I don't think there's evidence for the Christian upbringing in their lives at all. And because I'm a Christian, and when I look at America, I don't understand. Like, don't you guys? Because it's like they go to church and they just forget everything in the church,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
weird.
yeah. Exactly,
Yeah,
bro,
that's
bro.
right. That's right.
America calls itself a Christian nation. They don't follow anything, man. I mean, Jesus, peace be upon him, is openly mocked on their televisions, right? They do all this shit. They don't help the poor and needy among them. They don't do any of the basic stuff in the Bible, man. Like they can call themselves
But
Christian.
Sana, they do have Christian guilt over Jews. Like they worship dead Jews. Like you can't escape that fact.
Yeah,
Like
bro. Yeah. So they don't do okay. So they got the guilt, but they don't do like 99% of what's written in the Bible. Like Americans are the shittiest Christians basically on the planet.
I remember,
Yeah.
like initially in 2015-16,
Yeah.
someone asked Trump, how many books of the Bible have you read? And Trump is like, there's only one book.
Exactly. Yeah. Sir Kenaz,
And
Sir
it's called
Kenaz,
the
he
Art of
wrote only
Control.
one book, Sir Kenaz.
One, like, well, that may be the I would say that's the stupidest thing I've heard from Trump in a while, but it's not.
It's only been 32 days, Sir Kenaz. There's still like 333 days left in the year.
Whenever Sir Kinas goes on this tangent about how Trump is being stupid, like the next second only something happens that like the bar is even lower. Like
Yeah, yeah, I do give the man a certain credit for there's no way anybody could be that stupid. Every time I say it, he comes out and shows me wrong.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh man.
I heard him yesterday. He was saying how if Canada signs this trade deal with China, China is going to take over Canada, and the first thing that will go is ice hockey, he said.
Good. I
Fucking,
Goyim.
fucking go him. Good sir Damilola, raising your hand. You don't have to raise your hand, good sir. You're a speaker. You can talk whenever you want to. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, and also I'm really shocked with everything else because one of the things I like to push back what they like to say, especially about Africans, is even though it wasn't even a widespread practice and it wasn't even a widespread practice in the past, is that they're cannibals and all this, and I'm shocked that their own elites do all this stuff as well, and
Hmm.
it's almost like a projection of who they are as well. Like I was shocked when I
Yeah.
saw the MC flower as well. Like and it's almost like the Shikiobe is the days they created us, and they're so stuck in the past. Like it's almost
Yeah,
like
bro.
they think the 19th century was everything, and all of a sudden they don't want to move on. Like China and India are catching up, and then you guys are saying that, oh wait,
They're
we're so great, we
surpassed,
made the
bro.
modern world.
Like China builds better electric vehicles than America does. India already has surpassed the West in many areas, right? Like the things are already happening, right? Like these things are already happening. I mean, they can say shit like, "Oh, we still have the best military," but like, the so-called best military that they're talking so fondly of. I mean, right now, I mean, I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but right now, that military is getting kicked out of Syria. It's been kicked out of Iraq. It only has like one or two holdings left in Iraqi Kurdistan, right? The Gulf bases, like the personnel there have basically told the president and everyone else that we don't have enough interceptors. If Iran does a full scale attack, right, we can only defend at most one or two, maximum three locations, right? But if it's every location all at once, we don't have enough interceptors. So even that's not true. Like their entire world is collapsing right in front of our eyes, right? Right in front of our eyes, and it's like,
And
yeah, go
they're
ahead, man.
acting as they're acting as like the abusive partner in a relationship when you start looking elsewhere, like, oh,
Yeah,
there's a better day for me, and they're going to tell you like, no, you're a piece of shit and you will stay under my heel.
yeah, yeah. Oh, this is actually a good post. Okay. Pato Rames. I sometimes look at his stuff. He's got a YouTube channel. He does like some defense stuff. Okay. The Gulf Arabs can do the math. If of the 14 Iranian short-range ballistic missiles launched against the biggest CENTCOM bases, Al Udeid, at least one hits the most critical object there, and 40 plus Patriot PAC-3 launches fail to intercept that, then there is no defense possible. And okay, what does he say? Okay. Updated 18 minutes ago. Iran's missiles pose deadly threat, Gulf allies warn, as Trump weighs strikes. Even after a 12-day war with Israel, Iran retains the full arsenal to hit U.S. allies and bases. U.S. strikes would lead to regional war, Iran's supreme leader said. Yeah, I mean, Sir Malcolm also made the exact same point a few moments ago, which is as follows. What is this guy? Barry with the Ned. Wall Street Journal. American airstrikes on Iran aren't imminent, U.S. officials say, because the Pentagon is moving in additional air defenses to better protect Israel, Arab allies, and American forces in the event of a retaliation by Iran and a potential prolonged conflict. Okay, and then Sir Malcolm says, yeah, there is a serious chance now that no strikes on Iran happen, simply due to the U.S. not having enough air defenses anywhere on the planet to actually protect against Iranian counterattacks. Yeah. Like the thing with interception math is that the interceptors cost several millions of dollars. The missiles, however, cost by Iran, they only cost several tens of thousands of dollars, right? So just from a marginal cost base, right, you're dealing with 2 orders of magnitude, right? And then you got to factor in production and procurement and like supply and all these other things, right? Like the Americans themselves, like, you can go to their papers, but they're like, okay, well, we used up 25% of all SAD interceptors ever built in that 12-day war with Iran, and Iran didn't even use 5% of its capabilities, right? They were firing like 5 missiles every 4 hours. Bro, that's nothing, man. Yeah, that's literally nothing. Like, if Iran wanted to, instead of every 4 hours, they could be like, okay, every 2 hours, I'm gonna fire like 30 missiles at you, and they could do that for the entire fucking month. It doesn't fucking matter, right? And it's like, well, we're gonna fucking kill you, Iran. We're gonna fucking kill you, right? And he brings over 1 carrier battle group, 1, right? Not 4, right? Last time he brought over 4. America brought over 4. Like, most of the time, they were shooting down drones and cruise missiles, right? By the way, they were playing defense, right? And so they bring in 1, and then they're like, we're gonna fucking kill you, Iran. We're gonna fucking kill you, right? You damn mullahs, you damn Muslims, we're gonna fucking kill you, right? He ain't doing shit, man. He ain't doing shit, right? Like they did this crap. It's like bringing a true knife to a gunfight with regard to like actual firepower, right? It is such fucking bullshit, right? And they're gonna toot their own horn, and Epstein and all this other shit's gonna happen. This is a dead civilization, man. Absolutely dead, right? Stick a fork in it, she's dead, Jim. Oh man, what is this meme? You are such a dumb animal, says the human to the orangutan. Orangutan responds, you pay half of your hard-earned money to ball-worshipping elite pedophiles. I gotta share this to the spaces, man. Holy shit. Facts, bro. Holy shit, facts. Right
I
there.
mean, I'm just gonna give my own opinions on Iran. I just gotta be honest here. I have my opinions on Iran have severely soured since the so-called 12-day war, because honestly, they just need to realize that the U.S. wants to fucking destroy them, and I keep seeing them, try to open up negotiations and whatnot. And it's just like they really need to kind of get their heads out of their asses.
Oh,
and
I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Like, by the way, I agree with you. And here's the thing: Russia was doing the exact same thing for like 8 years. Everyone was telling them, "Hey, man, you annexed Crimea, and they're not gonna let you go, man. They're gonna keep killing your guys in the Donbass and the Luhansk. You better do something." And for 8 years, they did nothing, man. Like, if you go to like Western media in like 2018, 2019, the argument they made was that we are a fucking mighty democracy. Russia is an autocratic shithole. Because we're a mighty democracy, they're not going to do anything. They're just a pussy. When they tell us that they're going to attack us and invade us and it's war, they're all just a bunch of pussy cowards. Therefore, we can do whatever we want. And they did this for 8 years, man. And then February 24th, 2022 happened, and the Russian tanks rolled over Ukraine, right? Do I think Iran should actually be more assertive and aggressive? Yeah, I do, right? But here's the thing. I don't think it's going to take them 8 years to do it, man. I think it's going to take a lot less time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
That's my question for Sir Will. Do you think they're serious this time? Like, I understand your frustration and I agree, but do you think this time they don't seem to be playing this time?
I want to say yes, but it's like the thing is that the Ayatollah just gets on Twitter, does a bunch of hype moments and aura, and then nothing really comes. So I'd like to be proven wrong.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Ayatollah, if your eminence, Ayatollah, if you're listening, good Sir Will, Sakai Sinat 1804, he agrees with you. Death to America, death to the great Satan. God hates America. He agrees with everything that you say. Please, please, please fire off the missiles, kill America, kill Israel, do it for all of us here. Thank you very much for
I
listening to
mean,
this attention.
like during
Yeah.
the 12-Day War, when they launched those missiles at those bases, they fucking informed like the
Yeah,
bases.
Yeah.
I don't get that, man.
It's K-Fobby. It's K-Fobby. It's
It, it,
K-Fobby because like the Americans and the Iranians, they're like, okay, we have to de-escalate, but we have to make it look like we use force on each other, right? Because the Iranians didn't want to fight America. They wanted to fight Israel, but they're like, do we really want to fight the Americans right now? Not really, right? But like, that's what's going on. I mean, the interesting thing is that whenever they fired the missiles so far, like in 2020 they did it, in last year they did it, 2025. I think they did it also in 2022 or something. But each time they've always informed the Americans ahead of time. And so like if you talk to Americans, the thing that they tell you is, well, missiles aren't a big deal because obviously the Iranians will always inform us ahead of time. And obviously, our bases will evacuate and obviously nobody will die. And I just laugh at it. I'm like, bro, this is like classic, I have always relied on the kindness of strangers rhetoric with regard to what you believe about the world. Like, do you not realize what's going on here? Like the reason the Americans keep on calling the Iranians on the phone and telling them, hey man, we want you to do some K-Fobby, it's because the Americans know that their interception tech is garbage, right? And they need the Iranians to show restraint. Now, once again, I want the Iranians to be aggressive, but at the same time, I kind of know what their situation is because I am part, like, I was born in Bangladesh, but I've kind of like toured the region, right? And one of the things is that the ordinary Iranian on the street wants sanctions relief, wants Iran to be a place where, like, people can actually sell their goods and services and have a decent quality of life. And you can't really do that if the economy is in the toilet. And so there's still a faction of Iranian society who's just like, well, if we don't get the economic relief and whatnot, and we start a war, right, we might win the war, but we're going to get absolutely fucked, right?
yeah,
So
right.
like my question is, okay, but guys, they're gonna fuck you up anyways, right? They're telling you
And
that they
it's
want to fuck you up anyways, so you should probably take this a bit more seriously, right?
and it's been 60 years of the Americans threatening
Yeah.
them.
Well, you can't trust the Americans on anything, bro. Like they fucking lie. They're a bunch of fucking pedophiles. Like, don't trust them, right? But like, it is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty confident they'll figure it out. Like I said, I don't believe it's gonna take them 8 years like Russia did. It'll probably take less than that to shoot at the Americans, right? But like, it's gonna get there. It's just that there's still that, like, it's a big country. It's 92 million people. There's a significant chunk of the population. It's still a minority, but they believe that economic relief comes first, and then we can consider all these other things. I'm like, no, man, you gotta fight. Like, there's no way around it, bro. Like, you're considered a pariah. You're viewed as an evil country by the great Satan, and you gotta fight back. There's no shortcuts here, my friend. Simple as that. So
I just looked at the fertility rate for Iran. I'm quite shocked. I thought that they would be around like replacement rate, but they're pretty below. Like they're 1.45. Like it's concerning. Like for future this thing. Like, don't you think?
yeah. It's I look at births and deaths. So fertility rate is actually a bit misleading because what fertility rate shows you is that, okay, for a woman during her 35, 40 years of reproductive life, 30 years of reproductive life, how many children on average can she have, right? So if you want to look at something more accurate, you have to look at total number of births and total number of deaths. If you do that for Iran, which I can quickly pull up on my thing, in the year 2026, projected births in Iran is going to be 1.1 million, and projected deaths is going to be 460,000, right? So it's going to go up by about 600,000 or so. And I think the crisscross happens sometime in like 2055. So they got about 30 years left, basically, right? But this assumes, by the way, that
Then it's decent.
then
It's
it's
decent.
decent. Yeah, it's decent. But like they got about 30 years. The thing is though, like America is not going to last 30 years. One of the things you got to watch out for is when America falls apart in like a big Rwanda style, right? A lot of yeah, exactly. Like a lot of resources are going to be freed up for the rest of the world, right? Like the best countries are going to be the countries that are like pariahs and they're outside the international system because they're going to be the least affected by like America going bankrupt. And so like whether it's North Korea, Iran, even Pakistan to a small extent, like Russia, China, they'll do well, right? Everyone else is gonna be like, oh fuck, America went bankrupt, and we just lost all our bonds and stocks and whatever the fuck. We just got liquidated. Shit, what do we do, right? So like that's the situation. Okay, let me see what this Goim says. Boom Badoom. Okay, this is like a Goim account. Giving you guys a trigger warning. Giving you guys all a trigger warning. This is like a Goim account. All right, let me see what it says. Trump saying he would release the Epstein files to appease conspiracy bros like Joe Rogan was such a mistake. The average person, genetically meant to be a farm worker, was never meant to think. They are incapable of it, so now we have this deluded mess by the masses. This fucking Goyim, man, he's fucking Goyim himself. His entire ideology is fed to him by Israeli intelligence, and he has the gall to say that to other people.
Yeah, it's really, I fucking hate that account. Pure MAGA cattle.
Pure cattle, man, pure cattle. Ayatollah, please fire the missiles, kill the Americans. You know you want to do it, bro. Come on.
Come on, Ayatollah. Listen. If you go to a fight and you get like 2 teeth knocked out and 2 black eyes, but you win either way.
Exactly, bro.
Like that
exactly.
Bad?
Yeah, that's exactly right, bro. Like Ayatollah, my friend, Ayatollah, your eminence, my friend, my dear friend, fire the missiles, kill the great Satan. Everyone in the world will love you. All right. End of story.
They're still operating under what was that fucking Jonah Goldberg guy who said every couple of years America needs to pick up a small country and smash it against the wall just to.
Yeah, small country. Yeah, 1.6 million square kilometers, average elevation 10,000 feet, fucking mountains everywhere. Yeah, small country. Good luck with that.
I would love to see U.S. troops just dropped in Iran. I want to see that.
Yes.
I want to see that U.S. that active duty suicide rate like 200 per 100,000.
Yeah.
Well, they seem to be pushing towards some kind of Venezuela thing because did you guys see that they've got special forces that they're possibly going to
Bro, they did that. They did that during the 12-day war, man. Like, it was all Mossad operatives on the ground. Like, they were blowing up, like, hospitals and shit. They already did that, man. Like, the thing with these types of operations is, number one, you have to get the element of surprise. And number two, every time you do it, you're going to lose a shit ton of operatives, right? So it's like your trump card that you can only use once or twice, right? Like, infiltration is hard. It takes several years and decades of, like, learning the language, the fucking agents have been trained, and then they infiltrate and all this other crap. Like, Israel, and like, they're a fundamentally evil society, but, to give the fucking Satan his credit, like, they actually spent decades on this, man. Like, America doesn't have those resources, right? Like, the Israelis do. The Israelis probably have a few more Mossad agents left or whatever the fuck. But, like, time's running out. Like Sir Kenneth, you on the Telegram group, you forwarded, like, this fucking, what's it called? This Wallah or whatever the fuck that Israeli website.
They're a right-wing Israeli company. I mean, right-wing Israeli paper, and they were saying, well, if the U.S. won't assist us in fighting Iran, we are just going to have to do a strike on our own.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Fucking do it, bitch. Bitch, fucking do it, bitch. Fucking do it, bitch. Your pussy country, your pussy, like, fake country, your pussy fake country with, like, what? Like, what did you say, Sir Kenneth? Smaller than New Jersey, right? Versus, like, 1.6 million square kilometers.
The important point is 95% of all Israelis living in Israel live in an area that's roughly the size of Greater Toronto.
Yeah.
And they all head to the one airport when anything fucking starts flying. They all head to the one international airport they have to leave.
I'm telling you guys right now, right? Like, the Americans are blinking. There's still a chance. I'm looking at the prediction markets. There's still a small chance they still do some kind of stupid attack on Iran. In which case, it's gonna be so much fun watching those bases get blown up. But okay, let's assume the normal case, which is like America fucking pussies out, right? If America pussies out, man, I mean, you think the Israelis are gonna look at that and go, "Oh my gosh, yeah, America's gonna save our ass, man"? Like, no, they're gonna realize, they're gonna start getting the memo that, our golem, the American golem, the American goyim actually cannot save us anymore, right? And we are locked in this cage with the Iranian lion. right? And we're gonna get mauled to death. And sure, fine, we can kind of like try and fool them with diplomacy for a bit longer, but eventually they'll realize that what, it's just better to fucking fight you evildoers, right? So it's gonna be so much fun, man. Holy shit. Oh man.
My
Anyway,
gaping
Jews are
maw
way more.
yearns for the blood of dead Israelis.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. The
You
more
know,
dead. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
no, I was just saying that Jews are actually way more comfortable on the exile than on the land. Like their history shows
Yeah.
that. So, I don't think so, like when Sugar Daddy America will leave, they will be on the exile again. But
They're a golem,
you know,
man. They're not a
but
sugar daddy. They're the fucking golem. They're not the sugar daddy. Israel
no,
is
you
the
can
overlord of America, bro.
Yeah,
see,
aircraft
but
carrier theory, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck off, bitch. Yeah, exactly. No, like
but like how
I
girls entice like old rich guys into thinking that they own them, but it's the opposite. It's the same thing here. Like
same thing here, exactly. I actually agree with that.
yeah, we can
Yeah.
discuss the semantics. But what I'm trying to say is that whatever you say about the state of Israel, like Jews, like when this will fall apart, like they're not going anywhere. Is what I'm trying to say. Like they are
They'll run
tough.
away. They'll run away to fucking New York State or whatever the fuck, man. Like that's what they'll do.
Oh God, fuck.
Sir Kenas, how do you feel about getting the Israelis to be your next door neighbors?
Oh, I'm so happy I can hardly contain myself.
If they move to Georgia
Well,
where I live, I swear to God, I'm
what does
terrorizing them.
America need? We need more usury, sedition, pedophilia, and coin clipping. So,
I believe that Israeli Jews, like who are born there, like sort of Arnov is saying, like, yeah, they'll have to figure out a way to stay there, but they'll have to work within the constraints of the society that they should have from the beginning, like
Well,
being playing nice in the
yeah.
sandbox.
Here's the thing. Israel only exists because America sends in boatloads of money, weapons, resources, etc., every fucking month, year, and so on and so forth, right? Like, if you have a situation where America collapses or America is on the verge of collapse and it literally cannot look at its foreign entanglements anymore because it's fucking overextended, right? They're gonna emigrate, man. And the thing is, right? As they're emigrating and doing all this other shit, right? It's just like, bro, you know, yeah, you can stay if you let go of the delusion that you're fucking chosen and there's like 8 billion goyim and there's only like 16 million real people on the planet. But like, are they actually gonna do it? I don't think so, man. Like, I think the majority of them are just gonna leave. They'll go to Poland, Ukraine, like the former USA or whatever the fuck, and they'll try to like start their shit over there. They'll be like, God promised us New Jersey 3,000 years ago. Like, good luck with that, Sir Kenneth.
I thought God promised them New York City. He gave you New York City and Los Angeles, people.
God pretty much gave them whatever they want, it seems.
Well, I have kind of noticed that the chosen people for like any land area seem to be the ones with the biggest armies and like the best fighting tactics.
Yeah. Okay, we got good sir. We got good sir. What's this name? Ooh, this is interesting. We got good sir Abu Roosevelt. Oh, is he still around or did he leave? I did approve him, but okay, might be a glitch. Good sir Abu Roosevelt, if you're listening, I can approve you. Just come back and go give the request, please. I was distracted by something, so I didn't quite notice it. But I'll approve you if you want to speak again. But yeah, it's just like, man.
They're still working on that red heifer. I mean, they've not given up on that idea.
I mean, they're still working on the idea that they're going to have a greater Israel that stretches from the Nile to the Euphrates. I mean, okay, you managed to hold 800 meters of territory in Lebanon for a week or two. That doesn't give me a lot of confidence that you're going to be able to take on Lebanon, Syria, Turkey, and Iraq.
Yeah, especially considering that Syria is whatchamacallit. Syria, for a while, it seemed docile and compliant, but now it's beginning to behave let's just say a bit more unpredictably, especially with like kicking the Kurds out and all this other shit that's happening, basically, right? So,
Sir Anof, could you maybe give like a little bit of, I'm just not familiar enough with Syrian culture or the
sure,
geopolitics
man,
there. Maybe
sure.
could you,
Sure. So, if you go to the north, you've got the Kurdish population living there, and a significant chunk of the oil and gas fields are up there. And so, during the Syrian civil war, what happened was the Kurdish they set up a bunch of these autonomous zones, and they took control of these fields. And then the Americans sent in like their forces to like quote unquote do peacekeeping or whatever the fuck the word they used, right? And so like it's a dirty secret, but it's an open secret, which is that the American advisors, quote unquote, don't have the actual ground forces and mass, right, to hold the territory. They rely upon the Kurdish militias as their meat shield, right? And without that meat shield, they're actually in jeopardy and they have to evacuate, which is exactly what's happening. Like the Syrian army is overrunning the Kurds right now. And so the Americans are like, okay, we have to consider withdrawing from Syria. Now, here's the problem, right? They've already withdrawn from Ain al-Assad, which is the largest base in Iraq. Okay, the only other place where they still have a foothold is Iraqi Kurdistan, which is also a relatively autonomous zone. Okay, so they've got a little bit of stuff left in Iraqi Kurdistan. They have Al-Tanf base in Syria. The Syrian army, though, has conquered most of the Syrian Kurdistan region, so they're going to have to evacuate there. If they evacuate from Syrian Kurdistan, Al-Tanf becomes very, very difficult to hold on to, and it also becomes very, very difficult to hold on to Iraqi Kurdistan, because all these things are connected, right? It's almost like a triangulation shape, where like you have to be able to supply each of these places to one another, right? If you don't, right, they become like these garrison forts, and they're surrounded by a sea of hostile enemies on all sides, right? So you need like area denial, you need a bunch of these other things. You basically need constant communication and connection with all these bases. If one or more of them fall, the other ones are in jeopardy as well, right? So one of the reasons I was very skeptical about this Iran attack, right? And again, brother Naji and me, we kind of bickered back and forth about it. But like, I basically told him, look, man, I don't think it's going to happen, simply because, I don't look at what someone says. I look at what they do. And what they're doing right now is they're just running away, man. They're running away from Ain al-Assad. They're running away from Syria. They're about to run away from these Kurdistan places. Like, what the fuck is America going to do? Like, to fight a war with Iran, you need to have equipment on the field. And to have the equipment on the field, you need these bases, which are going to be like these places you launch your attacks from. If your strategy is, okay, CENTCOM HQ, Al Udeid in Qatar, and in Bahrain, where the fleet's going to be, and then like all these other places, like dude, you're literally 4 minutes away. You're 4 minutes away from the fucking Iranian like short range stuff, right? Like, you don't even have to be a fucking genius. Like, oh well, enough. I got body armor, and then this other guy's got a pistol, right? And he's got like 500 rounds of ammo and all this other shit. Like, it's very obvious what's going to happen, man. Body armor is not going to save you here, right? And so that's what's going on. So to answer your question, good sir Tony, Syria is very important because it's giving us an idea with regard to like what the trajectory is for like the American forces footprint, right? And so far it's like, yeah, the Americans are about to evacuate, man. I mean, they might keep something in Bahrain or whatever, but like at this point everything is on the table with regard to full withdrawals from like Syria and elsewhere.
I feel like the Kurds have just been sacrificed on the altar of American incursion so many times. It's sad.
It's
But
less
in
about
this
sadness and more
unfolding,
about the fact that they've always seen themselves as like, okay, well, Sykes-Picot gave all these Arabs a state, but the Kurds didn't get a state, so we want a state. So they're kind of like mired in that like narrow nationalism, and that's kind of been
Right.
what's made them the big loser here, right? Like everyone
It's
told
like,
them that, look, man, don't trust the Americans. The Americans always fucking lie. Fuck them, right? But they didn't like listen, right? That's kind of what this is. Can you post a screenshot for the Europores among us? Good sir, trolley problem. Yeah. Parliament erupts. Let me see what this is. RT. Parliament. Iranian parliament erupts with death to America, death to Israel chants. Iranian lawmakers don IRGC uniforms in support of world's largest anti-terrorism. I love these guys, man. Mwah. They deserve a kiss, man. All right, they deserve a fucking kiss. All right. Where is this? Share it to space. I'm gonna share this to space, man. This is amazing. Oh, I love these guys. Oliver Alexander. Okay, what is Elon Musk saying? Okay, what does the ketamine rocket man pedophile say? Okay, if I actually wanted to spend my time partying with young women, it would be trivially easy for me to do so without the help of a creepy loser like Epstein, and I would still have 99% of my mind available to think about other things, but I don't. Okay, and then this guy says, Oliver Alexander, I would be a much better pedophile trafficker than Epstein if I actually wanted to is a wild defense. What an odd thing to say. Sir Kenneth. What's going on here?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it is just Elon Musk is, mild on the autism spectrum, and I don't know if he always thinks through things before posting them.
No.
I mean, however, I will say that he's right insofar as somebody with over $100 billion can get hold of underage girls without having to deal with Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's correct there. I, who frequently put my foot in my mouth, probably still wouldn't have quite put my foot in my mouth this far.
Oh, man. Yeah, completely useless bunch of goyim, man. Oh, my gosh. All right, who's requesting now?
Here? Let's
see.
Good
Sir Will is back. All right, Good Sir Will is back. All right, I'll make him speaker again. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good.
I was actually at work. I was just on my lunch break for about 30 minutes. Had to go back in, clock in, but we're not very busy today at my workplace, so I can speak briefly in and out, but I might have to mute so I can deal with the occasional customer. I'm outside right now, so there might be some wind blowing in.
Totally fine.
All right,
totally
thank
fine. It's all good. No, look, it's a chill spaces today. We're gonna have a few more guests show up. We're expecting Sir Malcolm in about 15 minutes or so. But don't worry about it. It is very chill. You don't have to raise your hand or whatever. Don't be formal. Don't be a stranger. Just if you want to say something, just say it, man. We're pretty chill here, right? But
all right, excellent to hear.
Yeah, but I'm not impressed by this stuff, bros. I look at this crap, and this is the end of the American Empire, man. It's gonna be a Rwanda implosion, right? It's not gonna be the peaceful Soviet implosion. It's gonna be a Rwanda implosion because every American wants to shoot and kill every other American, right? We basically come to that point. We've come to the point.
I'm one of those Americans.
But again, sir, enough.
Yeah.
What stupid theory? Someone has to post a theory on this. This cannot happen just nilly-willy and randomly. Some theory has to come in.
Yeah.
For this to happen. How Belgians posted the theory about how they differentiated between the two is by the size of the skull.
Oh yeah.
And the size of their noses.
Yeah.
We need such a degree, from the most scientific people on this planet to come up and then
figure it out.
I mean, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably gonna if there's an American Rwanda, they're probably gonna kill each other based on Republican or Democrat, and they're gonna use phrenology to determine which is which. So
bro,
if they're Republicans, probably
yeah, bro, you're correct, man.
That's
bro, both of you guys are correct. But here's the issue: it's all just a bunch of mystery meat. It's America is a white country, but that's fucking false. It's 53% white, and it's decreasing rapidly. Within 10, 20 years, it'll be 40% white or whatever the fuck. Okay, phrenology, okay, great. You guys are, I agree. But what the fuck are we even measuring for? Okay, mixed race, mulatto, mystery meat. What racial category are they in, man?
Well, for the white Republicans, it's the white Republicans definitely got that Scots Irish, that Anglo look, that it's the fat kind of Brit kind of thing. So maybe you could differentiate based on that.
I think the problem with anybody who thinks we're going to see a race war in America, I should say, I think we could see some small scale, limited conflicts. We do occasionally see individuals snap and do racist things. By and large, America has never been less racist than it is today.
Yeah.
As the example I gave at the beginning, okay, even our gripers follow an effeminate Mexican.
A cat boy, sodomite Mexican. That's what they follow, man.
Yep.
That's
Nick
literally
Fuentes, or as I
yeah.
call Nick Fuentes, Shlomo Sanchez.
Slow motion. I gotta steal that, man. I gotta steal that. That's amazing.
I mean,
bro, that's
it's
amazing, man.
basically not. Most Americans today have friends of other races. We're actually closer in a lot of ways to, a city in the Austro-Hungarian Empire than we are to like anything approaching, this segregated society. I mean, they spent, hell, I'll go so far as to say one of the reasons they spent years getting Americans worried about racism was they knew that golem wasn't going to blow up in their face.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that there was never going to be a race war in the United States where Boogaloo Boy white supremacists come onto the picture and they're going to start shooting random people of color. I mean, yeah, a lot of boomer liberals got real hot and bothered about that because, oh boy, I get to do my own civil rights march. But it was never going to happen. That was one of the reasons you promoted them. I mean, yeah, America's in danger of being taken over by Nazis. Motherfucker, what chance does a guy dressed up in a dime store Gestapo costume have of being taken
Yeah, he has to dress up as a Mexican. Sir Kenaz, he has to dress up as a Mexican and wear a bow tie or whatever the fuck. That's how he gets elected.
Okay, in New York City, there's a guy named Vermin Supreme. He's always running on rent control and libertarian issues. Vermin Supreme is famous for giving his speeches with a boot on his head. Vermin Supreme has a better chance of getting elected president than anybody who declares themselves a white supremacist.
Yeah, yeah.
Quit putting the boot in somebody's face, put it on your head, change your first name to Vermin, and your electability increases dramatically.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Rabbi Mizrahi vindicated. Gotta
Rabbi,
say
the
it.
goy. Hashem, please destroy the goy.
It was like Voltaire. Lord, all I ask is make the goyim ridiculous. Nick Fuente shows up on the screen, with a cat boy and thousands of groypers screaming, Nick is going to save the white race. And it's like, thank you, Hashem.
Oh my God.
About that $50 donation I promised you. I'm having trouble coming up with $20. Can we pay $10? $5 would be good, wouldn't it, God?
Oh man.
But has anyone done any analysis on the diversity of people in the Epstein files? Like these
Diversity of
people
people?
talk about race and whatnot, like the diversity of the race.
Oh,
and
I see, I
these
see.
people
Oh, okay.
talk about race and this and that, but recently, like Zoran's, I don't know who, finance girl, whoever that lady was. I mean, she's the whitest woman of all, and she was like talking about like all white people should give away their homes, and then they found out that she's not giving up her 2 million home that she inherited from her mother.
Mhm.
So like a lot of these race talks, I've seen that ultimately when real shit happens, it's all white. So
Yeah.
how much how much it's like how much diversity is in there?
How much diversity? It's mostly like Jews and whites, bro. That's literally what it is. And it's like, and there's a couple of like, I don't know. There's a couple of these other like, black and brown people, but it's mostly Jews and whites, right? And the hilarious thing, and Sir Kenneth was talking about this on the Telegram group, is that now the excuse that the other team, quote unquote, is going to give is, hey man, this is all AI generated. It's all fake. It's an illusion. It's a hoax, right? Meanwhile, for like 4, 5, 6 years, they were all on like the fucking conspiracy theory boats. They're all like, yeah, man, all of this is real. Epstein, the pedophiles, all of this, we're gonna catch all of them any second now, as soon as Trump releases the Epstein files, right? And now all of a sudden it's a fucking hoax because of AI. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's what
I was telling in the group also, like this is like a Lance Armstrong situation
Lance
where like
Armstrong.
we find out, like they found out, like they everyone doped, and now like they're debating that, oh, my guy doped better and then he won the race,
Then
and
he
you
won
guys
the
are
race.
suckers. Like
Yeah.
it's the same shit that's going to happen. Like I mean, like there has to be some sympathy for the people. Like what else are their options? Like over here, like
My guy is a
except
pedophile. Your guy is a pedophile, but my guy is the better pedophile. That's basically what they got left, right? So God hates America. There we go. QED proven without a shadow of a doubt, right?
Westboro Baptist Church. I'm sorry I misjudged you.
God hates fags, bro. They said it.
Yeah,
God hates
no,
America. Yeah.
I've been feeling that too, Will.
They were ahead of the curve.
Uh,
They were ahead of the curve. Ayatollah Khomeini was ahead of the curve. His Eminence. Everyone was ahead of the curve, bro. Death to America. God hates America. All of that was true all along. All along it was true. It's just that we plebeians, man, we could not see their 12D chess. All along they were correct.
I kneel before their long sight.
Yeah, you don't have to kneel before them. You just have to be like, yeah, you guys are right. That's all. Oh man, I'm just reading these comments, man. Holy shit, they've lost their mind, man. Oh, man.
I'm just now thinking like, will there be some, like, these masculine, like, accounts will, like, how they will like be like, oh, look how Chad these people are, like how they're getting girls
Fuentes,
and you're
bro,
getting
bro.
nothing.
Fuentes tried that, man. Like about 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah,
I was just
bro.
joking.
No, you're not, bro. Okay, so 1 or 2 weeks ago, Fuentes was saying that, yeah, Epstein is based. Face it, retards. You want the life he does, which is like he fucks whoever he wants to, and he gets all the hot girls and whatever the fuck. And he actually tried that, man. And now because of this stuff, this horrific stuff, right? Whether it's women, kids, the rape, the sodomy, the cannibalism, right? And now he's walking it back. Like so that's what I mean. Like I was saying that they don't actually believe this stuff. It's all performance. It's all theater. I don't even think they hate immigrants and refugees and Muslims and like the reason I'm saying that is not for you guys to feel pity for them. What the reason I'm saying that is because I think they're not even human beings. Like I said, they're cattle, they're goyim, they're incapable of higher order emotional output, right? So like hatred or love and these they can't feel that shit, man, right? So like I hate Muslims or whatever, immigrants are like this is all implanted. They're the golem, they're the goyim. It's implanted in their heads, man. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is, right? And all this other stuff that they pretend is real, right? Like we gotta remigrate all the people. Like how much of that shit is from like Poll and 4chan and this crap? It's all a contrivance by Mossad and all these other guys, man. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, and there is a real living, breathing example of this in that fucking captive dreamer guy,
Yeah,
because he chose his ideology, his fucking shit ideology that you've just described, over his father, who disowned him publicly
publicly.
over
Yeah,
this shit.
bro. Publicly got disowned by his dad. He's like, yeah, I don't stand for racism and this crap. Yeah,
Cooked.
absolutely cooked, man. Let him cook. All these fucking goyim are gonna get cooked, man. And it's not just on Twitter. On Substack, I'm gonna cook them as well, right? I'm gonna write some stuff on Substack over the next few days to cook them, right? But like when I write my essays and shit, yeah, I'm just gonna cook them and like fuck them, man. Absolutely fuck them, right? Because like if
Didn't Carl? Yes, sir. I was just saying that didn't Karl Rove said 20 odd years back that we are an empire and we will create our own reality.
we will create our own reality.
Like again, like again,
Yeah,
like Hollywood was made to serve other countries,
yeah,
but the most served people are Americans.
yeah, bro.
It's the same thing. Like
Exactly,
like
bro.
all tools of like some like all tools created to rule over other people, like they have used that to themselves.
Yeah, it's a nation
Like,
of rape victims who think they're doing the raping.
It's a
And,
nation
and
of rape victims who think they're doing the raping. Exactly, good sir. That's exactly what America is, man.
And when it comes to the tariffs, I heard Peter Schiff say the other day, like the Americans think they're screwing the world, but when this dollar ship moves, like they're the ones who are going to be left screwed,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
and the world will benefit.
yeah. I mean, America sponges off. Like, okay, enough. We have so many resources, and we are never gonna collapse because look at our giant country, and we got resources and energy. I mean, like, it's actually an illusion. Because if you go to any of these places, you need enormous amounts of credit and leverage and access to good money flows and whatnot. Like, the only reason you got that is because the Europeans and the Japanese, they lend you the money, man. But, like, they're not doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. Like, when the Japanese lend you money, it's not because, like, oh my gosh, samurai, warrior spirit, honor culture, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not because of those goyim reasons. The reason the Japanese lend you money is because Japan as a society imports 90-95% of its oil and gas. Now, in order to have safe and secure access to that stuff, Japan has two options. Option number one, we can destroy our constitution, 1949 constitution, rebuild the fucking navy, risk getting into a shooting match with China, who misunderstands our intentions, sail the fucking navy all the way to the Middle East, to Qatar, Saudi Arabia, all these other places, and escort the shit. Or option two, the Goyim America, we can give them access to enormous amounts of credit via the US dollar yen pair, right? And via this $9 trillion of liquidity, right? The Goyim can do all the military grunt work for us so that the gas and the oil reaches our markets, is escorted properly, and then we use that stuff to build ships, build real stuff, and then we trade with the Americans, right? It's a vassal overlord relationship, right? That's basically, Japan is the most important American vassal, right? But it's a vassal in the traditional sense. A vassal in the traditional sense only cares about the overlord if there is a benefit to be gained. If there is no benefit, if it's like, okay, America is getting kicked out of Syria and Iraq, and a bunch of American bases got shot by the Ayatollah, and they're on fucking fire, the Japanese bond market guys and the bros in government and military are going to look at that and go, fuck, man. Can the Americans actually get that oil and gas to our market? It looks like the answer is no. So we got to dump, man. This is how the world works, man. This is how the world works. It's crude, cold, calculating, pragmatic calculation, right? It's not fucking samurai warrior spirit. Oh my gosh, everyone's scared of America. They're gonna bow down to our fucking obese hellscape nation. That's not the fucking thing that's going on. What's going on is that, at least for the time being, and this is disappearing rapidly, but at least for the time being, the vassals have this notion that, okay, if we give America cheap credit and all this other stuff, we can get something out of it. But if that's no longer true, man, like that power, it's an illusion, man. It's a giant with a feet of clay, right? Without that cheap credit, like Sir Kenneth was saying, at least for now, Trump can still pay the salaries, at least for now. But when that cheap credit dries up, man, you better watch out. Because those military people, the police, no one's getting paid, man. And when no one gets paid, they're going to start shooting people. Full Rwanda style. Oh, it's crazy.
So, Anaf, you're saying to me that America is an empire, not a force for good, not like humanity's greatest hope. Like,
America is
now you're
God's.
like
America
playing
is
with the
God
feelings.
Almighty's. America is God Almighty's detritus. It's the dustbin of history. It's where all the shit gets dumped, man. That's what America is. America is neither the world's greatest hope nor any of that bullshit.
Again, sir, Anaf, like my feelings.
Your
My
feelings, man.
feelings don't care about your facts. I mean, truly,
Yeah, bro.
the world runs on this shit.
Oh yeah, bro. I know what you mean, bro. I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. Like there's gonna be goyim with a straight face telling us a week from now, yeah, you know what, man? America is still the best thing since sliced bread, even though like everyone is a pedophile over here. That's exactly what they're gonna do, man. That's exactly what they're
At
gonna
this point,
do.
like the only way to know a person is influential is to know if he's in the Epstein file.
If he's a pedophile,
Like-
then yes, he's gonna be influential. He's gonna be in the Epstein files. That's exactly right, bro. Oh my gosh. What a fucking circus, man. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, let me read this actually. Hang on a second. Aaron Rupar, 1 hour ago. Question. This is a question posed by a journalist to Trump. Okay. In Texas, a Democrat won a special election in an area that you won by almost 20 points. What is your reaction? Trump. I don't know. I didn't hear about it. Somebody ran where? Question. In Texas. Trump. I'm not involved in that. That's a local Texas race. You mean I won by 20 points and this person lost? Things like that happen. I'm not on the ballot. The hilarious thing is that Trump actually put out ads for this guy and also openly went on Truth Social and said that, yeah, this is my guy. I endorse him. So he's fucking lying, man. That or he's got dementia, right? So it is so fucking funny, man. America's collapse is so fake and gay. It is like absolute chef's kiss to watch this crap happen. They absolutely fucking deserve it, man. Jeez. All right, what do we have here? I'm just seeing what else they wrote down. Bear Stearns, I don't care about that. Who's messaging me? No, that's not
A
Sir Malcolm.
particular thing I'm seeing that I was hoping Sir Malcolm might be able to weigh in on when he comes here is, I'm seeing a lot of like fifth columnists in Canada right now who are like advocating for Albertan separation. And, I'm not sure if it's just online or if it's like there's a real feeling out west with this, but,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know.
I think that stuff is mostly like, death grows, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
very similar to the Greenland stuff. Like, the reason Trump backed off Greenland was not because, he suddenly became a moral person. No, it's because the Europeans just flat out said, if you do this, it's the end of NATO, and we're going to dump your ass, right? And a bunch of these smaller pension funds started liquidating American positions, right? The Danes started doing it. I think the Swedes liquidated all their positions, and there was a big drop. And when I say big drop, I'm talking about 1 or 2%, which sounds very little, but in currency markets, in forex markets, a 1 or 2% change in the purchasing power of the dollar is very, very important. So when that happened, Trump backed off Greenland. So something similar is going to happen with regard to Canada as well. Like, America right now has nothing left to offer the world, right? It's just going to sink to the bottom of the ocean, literally and metaphorically, right? It's all just like theater of the absurd. It's all like, yeah, we're going to fucking kill you. Watch out, Semper Fi, do or die. Uncle Sam, Lady Liberty's coming to kick your ass. In reality, there's no firepower. There's no fucking procurement. There's no fucking money. They literally can't do anything, right? And so they're gonna do shit like this, man. Like I won't be surprised if like 6 months from now Trump starts talking about Greenland again, right? Which is basically what,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and then a year from now, like after he loses the midterms and he's getting impeached the 4th or 5th time, right? He'll be talking about Canada again, right? Like, yeah, stars, like Sir Malcolm talked about it in his essay, but like before a star explodes into a supernova, right? It kind of like contracts a bit, and then it starts expanding rapidly, and then there's like a giant explosion. That's basically what America's doing right now, man. It's like, yeah, man, we're gonna
Yeah.
expand America by 2.1 million square kilometers, and the pussy Europeans can't do anything about it, right? And then he's the one who pussies out because like the Europeans say that they're gonna dump their bonds. So what do you even say about
But
that?
in that,
Yeah.
but in that like contraction and expansion talk, there are these little things, these groups that happen, like the Albertan separatists. I'm thinking, because
Yeah.
man, that was not like, yeah, there was a little bit of a hint of that conversation over the last 2 decades because of the way they felt they were treated over the oil and stuff. But until now, like I literally saw videos going around on X last night of this fucking guy who's proudly talking about like, yeah, I met with the Americans and, yeah, we're going to try to get this Albertan independence thing off the ground as if Alberta is going to be its own country,
Yeah, that's
not like
rubbish.
51st state. Like we're going to be a country. Like they're trying to fucking do the Ukraine shit on us. Like it's
It's
crazy.
not gonna work, man. Like, these things, you need a shit ton of money. Also, you need like actual like saboteurs and shit that you gotta hire. Like, there's no budget for this, man. Like, yeah, we're gonna fucking separate Alberta. Like, bro, you can't even fucking pay the troops what they're owed, man. Like, okay, shut the fuck up, get out of here, man. So
They're on SNAP benefits.
no SNAP benefit. Like the fucking soldiers are not getting their SNAP benefits, and Drumpf is saying, "I'm gonna unleash my fucking goon squad on the streets." Dude, they're not getting paid their benefits and their food. They're gonna fucking shoot your ass. All right. So yeah, don't be bothered by it. I think the Canadian government, they should look into it, and they should be like, yeah, this is treason. Fuck you. We're gonna take, like, we're gonna put you in jail or execute you or whatnot. Right? They should do something about it. But like, I view it as like a secondary or tertiary thing. I don't think anything's going to come out of it, right? Like,
I will say I'm heartened to see that so many more Canadians are saying, yeah, like fuck off with this shit. We don't want to be Americucks.
yeah, you don't want to be goyim, yeah. But like, bro, it's like Alberta and all. None of that matters. None of that matters because like America's going down the toilet, man. It's over. It's game over, right? And it's like, well, the 90-year-old grandpa is gonna die, but he wants to buy one final house. Why the fuck does it matter? He's gonna be dead, and the house will no longer be in his possession, right?
Yeah, it's
That's
like
literally what this is, man. That's literally what this is.
Grandpa had a bad nightmare last night and fell out of bed, and yeah.
Yeah. Watching Norm Guards repost my Goyim fatigue and Goyim extinction button memes with thousands of likes. Oh, I love it, man. All right, share this to Spaces. There we go. Oh, man. It's great. Sir Kenaz, on a scale of 0 to 10, how much Goyim fatigue do you have?
Oh, I'm so goyim fatigued I can barely keep my eyes open. I only keep them open to see further doom and stupidity.
Sir Arnov, how much Goyim fatigue do you have?
It's right now 7, 8 out of 10.
7, 8? Oh, wow. So you're not at 10 yet. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, if I was at 10, I would have just leave the group and like shut down Zeta and stuff. Like I just can't take it. Like I would be in that situation.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Oh dear. What the fuck
My
is-
Goyim fatigue is at
Fair enough.
600.
600, not 6,000. Bro,
6,000? Ooh, maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting tuckered out with these Goyim. It's
Mm.
definitely negatively affecting my health.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. Let's see what this says. Clash report. Okay. Reporter. Okay. This question to the pedophile in chief. Okay. Khamenei said today that a U.S. attack could start a regional war. Trump, why wouldn't he say that? Of course he's going to say that. We have the biggest, most powerful ships in the world over there, very close. Hopefully we'll make a deal. If we don't make a deal, then we'll find out whether or not he was right. He did this fucker. Sir Kenaz, what do you say to this fucker? Oh, Sir Kenaz stopped being a speaker for some reason. Did he just drop out?
Maybe his Goyim fatigue just got to him that badly.
Good Sir Tony, what do you think about that? The pedophile in chief's comments.
I'm in amazement, but I also think, like, where does it go from here? Like, are we going to see President Gavin Newsom? Is that where this goes? Like, do the Democrats really?
You're assuming there's going to be an election, man. I mean, I'm not that confident. That's the thing, right? It's like when a society is collapsing, you see a lot of interesting things happen, right? Let me put it to you that way. Oh, Sir Kenaz is back.
Back.
All good, Sir Kenaz. All good. What do you think about the pedophile in chief's comments with regard to starting a regional war with Iran?
I mean, about the same thing I think of everything that falls out of his mouth. You know, it's like it's intended to get him attention. I don't know whether or not he will choose to follow through on that. The fact that the one carrier group he sent there appears to be heading away from Iran rather than toward Iran makes me think that he's going to do jack and shit with Iran.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he has emptied out most of the military bases, which you would need to use as staging areas for an actual full-scale war with Iran, makes me think that. The fact that we really don't have enough troops to do a full-scale attack on Iran, and that attack would cost far more casualties than the American public would stomach, make me think he's not going to do anything in Iran.
Yeah, same. I think this is going to be a nothing burger. Like I said, there's still a small chance. There's still a small chance it happens, but it's fading away very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the only thing that stops me from saying this is absolutely a nothing burger is I've seen Trump do lots of stupid things that I was absolutely convinced that nobody could be this much of an idiot. Oh my, he was that much of an idiot.
There we go.
Nothing ever happens.
Nothing ever happens.
So
There we go.
like nothing.
I know it's maddening how nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
Well, nothing ever happens until everything happens at once.
There we go. Like how many years did people tell us Europe and Japan are a bunch of cucks? They're never gonna sell the American dollar. The American dollar is the best thing ever, and then they fucking sell the American dollar.
I mean,
Or well, they've begun to, right? So there we go.
Unfortunately, as John Michael Greer frequently points out, we're on a finite planet with finite resources.
Yeah.
When you run into basic things like the law of diminishing returns. No, every empire reaches its ideal size, goes beyond it, then loses everything.
There we go.
I know this would never happen, but God, I would fucking love to see Europe and Japan just dump the treasury bonds, all of them, within a short span of time.
They're doing it slowly. Yeah, they're not going to do it in a short span of time. They've begun the process. It's going to be pretty ugly, though, as they do it bit by bit. Because the Americans are going to act even more crazily. And they're going to try and do all kinds of crazy shit. But yeah, it's going to be pretty ugly. Because, like...
I need to see the American economy get raped.
It's happening, bro. Like, it's happening in slow motion.
Get raped harder.
Yeah. Get raped harder. More. That's
mean,
basically what Will's at.
We've got to burn this rotten infrastructure down before you can build something new. I will note, after the Roman Empire lost the West, Byzantium went through a couple centuries of relative prosperity because it freed up a lot of money and a lot of resources that were going towards trying to hold on to, an area that required a lot of resources and wasn't bringing a lot back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I could see that, I could see America having a lost decade, maybe even a couple of lost decades.
It's going to be a couple of decades, good sir, just because of the scale of the place we're talking about. But, I mean, the pension funds and these guys, they're already dumping the dollar. Like, that's why the Dixie's going down right now, right? It's like 97, 96 right now trading. But, like, it's going to get worse because the thing is, right, the vassals care about, well, what's in it for us, right? And if America's getting kicked out of the Middle East, which is basically what we're seeing right now, Japan and South Korea are going to dump. They're going to be like, fuck, man, we need a way to get our oil and gas out of there, right? Because we literally are import-intensive societies that don't produce our own energy, right? So if the Americans are not going to transport that shit, we can't fucking... It's a waste of our money. We gotta, like, dump bonds and give the money to someone else who can actually get the oil and gas out of there and get it to us, right? So, it'll be very funny watching the American go and lose their minds over the next several months and years. All right, let's see who we got as listeners. Sir Malcolm should be showing up any moment now. He did say 1 hour, so I'm keeping my eyes out on that. Al Muhtasim, good sir. Al Muhtasim. You should have told us you were here, man. I'm going to make you speaker. Let me see what you got. You can also send me a request, good sir. What do we do with the Goyim, Sir Kinez?
Well, there's nothing to do with the Goyim except stay out of the way of the stampede. That's all you can really do here. These people...
Goyim, man, they're not people.
the goyim on both sides have decided they're going to boldly take their stand and charge off the cliff.
Yeah.
That's like, they're separated by a chasm and they're going to dive over a cliff to fight each other.
Yes, sir.
All you can do is figure out, okay, how am I going to keep my stuff in order? How am I going, how do I ride out this storm?
Yeah. Yeah.
Assuming
Get
this,
out of the way.
Yeah.
basically,
I feel like the message is out there for people that want to hear it. This is unsustainable. Our lifestyle is unsustainable. Our energy consumption is unsustainable. Our politics are unsustainable at this point. The information is out there that anybody who wants to smell the coffee, to have a nice steaming cup and wake up and then figure out what they're going to do based on the situation. I can't say everybody will all do fine, but we will do better than the people that are completely blindsided by this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, God hates America, Sir Kenaz.
Well, America turned its back on God.
There we go. There we go. Oh, Sir Kenneth, you're gonna love this. Epstein files suggest that Le Pen and France's Front National are largely propped up by Israeli and Russian money.
I mean, the Russians want a destabilized Europe because Europe has made itself the sworn enemy of Russia. Of course, they're going to fund that. We fund bombs going to Russia from Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And as for Israel, Israel wants. Israel is happy to have a left-wing government in Europe, a right-wing government in Europe, a far right-wing government in Europe, as long as it's not an anti-Semitic government. And, I mean, for the most part, they managed in America.
Mm-hmm.
The right tended to be virulently pro-Israel and anti-Islam.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That, then they were blindsided when the commies and the left just overwhelmingly threw in with Palestine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, it's at the point Israel is like even losing the support of the boomers.
Oh, dear.
That's impressive, man, because the boomers are like the most buck broken kike slaves out there, and now apparently their support for Israel is waning. Whew. Man, you gotta fuck up real badly.
Well, yeah, they did. They did. They really, the thing to worry about is not the boomers. At this point, the youngest boomers are the boomers are in their 60s and 70s. In about 10 years, the boomers are going to be essentially irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, there is the young people in America are just overwhelmingly anti-Israel. I mean, Israel has become America's South Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Israel 10 years from now having my guess would be that having the support of AIPAC will be about as useful as having the support of NAMBLA when it comes to trying to get a vote.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh dear. Just seeing what else people are saying. Israeli Channel 12 reports that Israel is exerting massive diplomatic pressure on the Americans to drop off all negotiations and launch a preemptive strike on Iran. Oh, Sir Kenaz, look at that. Shocked Pikachu face. The Israelis are pressuring the Americans to attack. The Goyim. What will we do with the Goyim? All right. This is that. All right, let me just see what else people got. Okay. Oh, this is a good meme. Yeah, it's a good meme. I'm just seeing.
Repost mine Goyim for
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Go.
it's burning. I mean, I think a lot of people are starting to recognize that, you know, they've been lied to.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot
Yeah.
of people on the other side don't, I mean, a lot of people still are holding on to the like, well, only if only Trump would Trump harder. If
Trump will Trump harder. Yeah.
if only the Democrats would be more pro-democrat, would be more liberal, then everything would be fixed. And it's gradually sliding toward if only my side would round up the members of the other side and arrest them or shoot them in the street, then everything would be better.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I think it's like, so long as you're caught in this basic idea that the only thing holding us back is the immigrants, the Democrats, the Republicans, and yes, the Jews, that's the only thing that's holding us back. And if we get rid of them, everything is going to be great. I mean, you're still not, you're still deluded.
Mm-hmm. You're extremely deluded. Democrats flip their plots. Trump this week, we already read that.
The best they can do
Yeah.
is just point to the fact that the left believes some crazy shit, like, oh, you were psyoped by transgenderism,
I
and
don't think though. I don't think it matters anymore because if you have the goyim just flat out saying Epstein is based and pedophilia is amazing, and this is kind of their angle, it doesn't matter if their opponent is like whatever, like LGBT whatever and whatnot. Like at that point, it's just like a visceral disgust reaction of like, well, we're not even going to go near you, fucking goyim, right? Which is probably what's gonna. I mean, like if the Democrats, like I said, I despise the Democrats, right? But like, if the Democrats are winning by like 17, 15, 13 points in places where like Trump and his cronies win by like 20, 25 points, that's game over, man. Like, and it's not just like one or two places. It's been happening over and over and over and over and over again over the last like several dozens of elections that we've seen with regard to like these sorts of things, right? So, oh, Al-Muhtasim, good sir, you're finally here. All right. I gotta ask you the question, mandatory question for everyone. Does God hate America? Al-Muhtasim, good sir. Go ahead, floor is yours.
Oh, maybe he does, but I don't think he hates America more than Americans hate themselves, right? Uh, I, I thought the mandatory question was gonna be whether what's the Goyim fatigue levels at, and in all honesty, I think it has been reset. Right now, I don't have fatigue. I have a sort of a pity, it's like, oh, these poor guys, look at them. All their lands have been
They're
raised.
not guys, man. They're goyim. They're goyim. Don't call them guys.
Well,
They're a bunch of goyim.
guys.
Okay.
So this guy, yeah, they're looking like cute right now. It's they're so fucked up, man. It's just this thing has turned everything into a whole other level. So right now, I'm not feeling fatigue. I'm just feeling some sort of maybe not very healthy, but some sort of enjoyment looking at all this shit, man.
you're looking at them like they're hospitalized, like stage 4 bone cancer patients.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, yes. I'm becoming compassionate. I know this is stupid. I know the rabbi would be
Bro,
mad at me
bro,
for this
don't
attitude, but
fucking show the
but
goyim compassion, man. Don't
The
show them
rabbi
compassion,
would be
bro.
mad at me.
You gotta euthanize them, man. You gotta euthanize the goyim. That's what you gotta do, man. What you gotta do, man. Don't fucking.
that's all I gotta say. I'm just having fun listening to
It's
you
all
guys
good,
and
bro. It's all good, bro.
while watching all this shit. unfold in real time, and it's just much, man. I feel that like I gotta go buy a bottle of wine and a piece of cake or something else. This is it's too much, man.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's hilarious, man. It's absolutely hilarious. Right? Like all the shit that they and like oh the left and like oh they brainwash kids and any moment now pedophilia is gonna show up. You're the fucking pedophile. Your guy is the fucking pedophile, right? Like you speed ran the left and you fucking won, man. You got to the pedophile thing first.
Yeah, I think it kind of points to like
Yeah.
when one side is willing to like medically experiment on children and then the other side is like defending like having sex with minors. Like, yeah, you're at a bad place as a culture and a society.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which is a bit of an understatement.
Beautiful.
Yeah, no, I mean I
Uh,
think we've gone from it's basically at this point it's my team right or wrong. There's the politics are gone. They're no longer we don't support the Second Amendment. We don't support keeping cops on a short leash. We don't even support you know arresting people for having sex with minors,
mhm,
so long as those
mhm.
people are on our side.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. And and it's gonna be more of the same. It's gonna be like, oh, this Epstein stuff, it's all a hoax, it's all AI generated. The only reason they're implicating my team, quote unquote, is because they're the real evil ones, and if we just remove them, the country will be, back to normal or whatever the fuck. Right? Like, it's all fucking rubbish. It's all fucking psychodrama, as Sir Malcolm wants to say, right? And it's like, it's just big fucking Rwanda, right? Everyone's gonna play for a while, and then it's gonna go off. And yeah, Sirkenas, the performance becomes a shoot, right? The work becomes a shoot, and yeah.
What's funny
uh,
about it, for some reason, I don't know, this week I decided to rewatch season one of True Detective. This when they're chasing the pedophiles in Louisiana or someplace like that. And it's all so dark and sophisticated and full of symbolism and whatnot. And when you get the actual thing, it's actually a lot of morons doing the most stupid moronic shit, no care for no symbolism at all. It's just like the idiocracy version of whatever this pedophile cabal representation was like. So it's really funny to read like Epstein's own words and whatever these guys defending him are saying. It's really just like it's so stupid that it removes all this creepy thing about them. This nah, it's still creepy, but I mean this sort of mystery of darkness. Instead, it's all like extremely banal and very bad taste. It's really absolutely the worst thing.
Yeah, well,
It's
that's a very good point. I think back to like the whole Q thing, right? Like in the mystery and who is he's exposing this cabal, and then the banality of them just their administrative assistants emailing each other back and forth about like torturing people or whatever the fuck. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
absolutely. And it's like, hey, the torture video was wonderful. Let's have a coffee and maybe,
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly it, bro. That's
Here's
exactly it, right?
something that just came up on Brother Bilal Muhammad's Telegram. Somebody shipped Jeffrey Epstein Kabakiswa pieces, which appeared to be, I mean, I'm sure Saranov could explain this better, but those are pieces of cloth that cover the Kaaba during the Hajj, during the pilgrimage to Mecca. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, I think like several years ago there was like this Jewish group who pretended to be Muslims who wanted to gain access to Mecca, and they smuggled out a few pieces. I think it's that particular
Yep,
group,
it comes
right?
from 22 March 2017. Yep.
Yeah.
But oh man, I'm not even Muslim, and that turns my stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's whatchamacallit. It happened like that, and whatchamacallit. Epstein had connections everywhere, right? I think he even had access to, I forget like the name of the prince, but he's kind of like either the first or the second guy of like the UAE, right? And he has those connections. He has connections to other parts of the world, but primarily in terms of Epstein Island and these types of things, it was primarily like, the big shots of the American world, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on with regard to him doing the maneuvering and getting these things and that things and whatnot, right? So yeah. Turkey is now restoring and replanning Aleppo city in Syria. Yeah, I mean, well, they kicked the Kurds out, so that's now available to them. What else do we have here? I'm just quickly going through my feed, seeing what else people are saying. Oh, for the idiots out there, Texas requires photo ID or whatever. That's irrelevant. Okay, Keaton Weiss. All Democrats have to do to win in 2028 is to oppose both genocide and pedophilia, but something tells me that's too much to ask. Okay. Mini Modu says, actually, the only real issue is still affordability, and there isn't much of a solution to that, so everyone will lose regardless. The empire is over, Sir Kenaz. How does it feel?
Yeah, well, long live the new empire. Like, long live America, the reinvention of America. That's all I want is like America, which still does like America things, and not this kind of like, we were never meant to be an empire. We never should have become an empire. The founding fathers had no interest in America as an empire, and it has done nothing of value for any of us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let it burn.
Let it burn down. Yes, sir. Very true. Very true.
I agree with that 100%, but I would just say like there is a fraction of people who it has benefited quite a bit,
Oh yeah,
and
Mm.
they're the ones kicking and screaming the hardest.
yeah,
Mhm.
it has, and like let them burn too.
Let them burn.
Here, here.
uh,
Just one thing I just wanted to take, like it's 1 o'clock at night here in
no
Mumbai, so
worries, no worries,
I'll just say final good night and final regards, and
no worries.
I'm hoping this space will be long, so I will be listening about it
No,
tomorrow.
no
But
worries, no worries. Good sir.
one just last thing, death to America. Like I've also joined the.
That's to America. You've joined us. All right, there we go, man.
uh, have a great time, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks
Sir
for.
Arnold. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. No, but like, it's the dementia, the fucking Minnesota riots. What else? People dumping the bonds. We got Epstein shit. Like I said, God hates America, man. Like when you see simultaneous disasters happen all at the same time, all you gotta do is just say, "Do God hates America," right? Like
Yes.
that is the best way of like answering. Like oh enough, Black Swan this, and our enemies are attacking, and we've been betrayed by the Shut up, man. Shut up. God hates America. That's the only thing that's real here, right?
I think I'll be paying attention to Steve Bannon in the coming weeks a lot because he
What's he gonna
seems to
say,
be.
man? Like what's he gonna say to defend his bullshit, man? There's nothing he can
That's
say.
exactly what I'm curious about. How will the Pied Piper
Mm-hmm.
try and spin this?
The Pied Piper. Is he even a fucking Pied Piper? I don't think so, man. Oh dear. Da-da-da-da. Okay, who is this? Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out who's messaging me. Yeah, I mean, I want to make this a long spaces, but it depends on if Sir Malcolm shows up or not. If he does, then it'll be much longer. But like, if he doesn't, then we'll probably call it quits.
Yeah,
But
let's drop him a line, see what's up. I mean, if he's not, I would say
yeah,
if he's not here like I'm going to have to go soon, if he's not going to be coming in shortly.
Yeah, I mean, can you stick around for 20 more minutes, Sir Kenaz,
Yeah,
or is it
yeah,
not?
20 minutes is good, but I
Yeah, yeah,
would like him to see, is he around? Is he I mean, I understand he's a busy guy, but
yeah. No, he messaged me that he just woke up and he said, "Can I do this in 1 hour if you're still game?" And he messaged that to me like about 1 hour 30 minutes ago, and I told him we are still game, good sir, hop on in, right? So, and he did see that message, so yeah. I mean, we can continue for about 20 more minutes. I mean, if he doesn't show up, then we still have enough material. We'll have like a show that's slightly under 2 hours, so that still works, right? Okay. Do we have any interesting comments, gentlemen, that you want to read out from Zitter? I got a few that
I
I
see.
screenshotted.
I see something here that's just kind of funny. Trump jokes about suing. This is from the New York Post. Trump jokes about suing new Fed chair Kevin Warsh if he doesn't slash rates.
He's gonna keep slashing rates, Robert. But the thing with slashing rates is that, okay, well, we're gonna make the money cheaper, but people have to actually buy your bonds. And again, the reason they buy your bonds is because they get something out of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
if they like if the Japanese don't get something out of it, if the Europeans don't get something out of it, they're not gonna buy your bonds, right? If they get not only that, like if you start going like, okay, well, I'm gonna invade Greenland, I'll do this, that, and the other thing, they'll dump you even faster, man, right? So,
And do they like, I know inflation is a problem, but are they at the risk of deflation? Is that an issue?
which countries?
America.
It's gonna be multiple phases, right? So one of the phases you're gonna see is as people are selling their bonds, the dollars in circulation are going to come back to America. So initially, it's going to be a stagflation. So it's going to be stagnant labor market and high inflation. And then you're going to get like a deflationary thing with regard to like prices dropping because again, demand destruction from like people not being able to afford stuff, right? So these things are always related. It's not like only one thing ever happens, right? It's like one thing happens and then sequentially something else happens, right? So,
Hey, you guys see that little image I sent from Pinball Wizard up right in the Jumbotron? That's me, bruh.
Jumbotron, bro. Let me see. Watching Norm Guides repost my going fatigue, going section button.
No. It's the most recent one
Most recent one.
with
Let me see.
Anakin in it.
Oh, okay. Let me see. General Intifada JD, you are whiter than.
That's me, bruh.
Oh, nice, bro. Nice. Okay, I found one. Here's a good one. Okay, who is this guy? Selden. Okay, I've never. Okay, this looks like an interesting guy. Okay. What the whole Epstein saga tells me is that the Western world, insofar as it is a coherent civilization, is utterly doomed because all of the people involved are the same people who run the Western world from top to bottom. The cardinal sin isn't that they did this unspeakable crime or another. It isn't that they're vain, lustful, greedy, or even hubristic. Every system known to man inevitably attracts or produces such types of people. It is that they are stupid, profoundly stupid, unserious, impulsive, and clownish people stuck in a perpetual adolescence, extending into their 60s and 70s, completely fueled by hard drugs and easy women, with no plans or visions for the future other than figuring out some other new way to lull people into ceding their cognitive autonomy so that they can have 0.1% more control over them without any regard for long-term implications. All right, and then he continues. Let me just try and find it. Here it is. Okay. This is the mindset of everyone in power in America or Europe, regardless of whether they were in the Epstein emails or not. And the proof of this idiocy is, ironically, in that all of this was an open secret that has now been made public precisely with the acquiescence of some of these same elites who implicitly know that no one involved will face any real consequences for any of this whatsoever. Ouch! Sir Kenaz, comments.
Sorry, I was away from the keyboard for a
No
minute.
worries. Okay, did anyone hear that? I guess.
Yeah, I did, and that's about the truest thing I've heard about all this.
Yeah,
That nails it.
yeah. Like the Epstein thing, what it really shows is that hedonism and all these other things, man. That's what's going on here. Like there's no such thing as Western civilization, right? Like you've got a bunch of junkies engaged in gooning off to like AI bots, pornography bots, and like they are the like lower down the totem pole. And what happens when you go higher up the totem pole? Well, you become a pedophile, basically, right? So that's where you're at, man. That's where you're at with regard to these sorts of things, right? So, it's a swirling down the toilet bowl, folks. Oh, what do we have over here? Okay, people are making cartoons out of Jeffrey Epstein. What do we have here? Just trying to find other stuff. Middle East. Jerome Powell, not Jerome Powell. Jeffrey Epstein, can you come tonight? Stephen Hawking, I can't. I'm doing a very important research on black hole radiation. Epstein, we got midgets tonight. No, I think this is just like a made up dialogue. I think people are just making fun now. Okay.
Like this is there is no legitimacy to this
Mhm.
governing structure anymore, is there? There can't be.
There isn't, but people are gonna still pretend, and it's gonna be like what you're seeing are the last days of the Soviet Union, man. I mean, there will be successors to America, but they're gonna be smaller, right? There's gonna be other guys who show up, but we're seeing like legitimacy. We're seeing like basic things break down. We're seeing a lot of stuff happen, man. We're seeing a lot of stuff happen. All right. What else do we have here? Clash report 1 hour ago. New Gulf states warn that despite recent losses, Iran's missile forces can still seriously threaten U.S. bases. Gulf officials say Iran's missile program is damaged but not crippled. Okay, yeah. Okay, basically what they're saying is everything has been rebuilt. Right? That's what they're saying. Okay.
When they say Gulf officials, they mean just like anonymous people
Yeah,
governing
yeah,
that
yeah.
region.
I mean, I don't really believe these sources because like a lot of them they're just like, oh, anonymous sources told us this, and I'm like, that can literally be anyone, man.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, what do we have here? Voting registration update. Florida. Republicans and Democrats. Wow, that's crazy, man. Holy shit. Okay. Our pedophile is better than your pedophile.
Yeah,
That's literally what America has become. Okay.
that's where we are at. It's like he may be a pedophile, but he's our pedophile.
There we go.
I was giving some credence to the idea that Trump might have been instigating in Minnesota to, impose martial law so the midterms don't happen, but then he seemingly cucked out. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
hmm
Maybe the midterms do happen.
Maybe the midterms do happen. Uh, I think Trump's gonna pussy out. I don't think like martial law and these types of things. Like you know, he can't really afford to pay these troops. He can't pay them right now, man. Like, okay, well, I want you to work overtime and like crack
Right.
skulls and shit. Like, it's not gonna happen, right?
Shoot at your neighbor.
Shoot at your neighbor, yeah, but you're not gonna get any like gold or silver or whatever the fuck for doing it. Uh,
We'll give your child a Trump account and put $1,000 in it, and they can get that when they're 20 years old.
mhm. uh, Americans before 2025. You guys have terrible corruption in Eastern Europe. Apparently, corruption in Eastern Europe compared to the U.S. Oh, jeez, man. Epstein. This is the end, Sir Kenaz. It's the end of civilization. How does it feel?
it's not the end of civilization. It's the end of Western civilization, which at this point it's more like we're turning like we're pulling the plug.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good run. We made it to the moon, did a few great things along the way, but every civilization has a pull date, and we've hit ours. And
Hmm.
instead of trying to fix things, we are doing what happens every time this happens. We're clinging to the idea. We're clinging to the idea that we are still a world superpower when it's become obvious to everybody else that we're not.
Hmm. Yes, sir. Very true.
Sitcoms, Thigh Master, OnlyFans,
OnlyFans.
DraftKings.
OnlyFans. It's like so fucking funny. I remember Peter Schiff back in the day, right? And he used to have this example to explain to people how the economy works. So imagine you're on an island and there's like one American and 5 Asians, right? One of the Asians does the fishing, one of them does the hunting, third guy does the gathering, fourth guy does like the cooking of all of the ingredients, right? And the fifth guy is like the guy who sets up the tables and chairs and everything, right? Um, and the American is the guy who, at the end of it all, he gets to do the hard work of eating, right? And he like, yeah, no. So Peter Schiff made the point that when these like American idiots, when they say stuff like, well, we are the world's largest customer, right? We have we have access to the world credit card. We are the largest customer. If we don't buy their shit, right, they're fucked. Therefore, these pussies and vassals, they need us, right? And so, that's why America rocks, baby, right? And the point he made was that this is not just the case of like the spouse who does all the spending saying that she is the most important person in the family or whatever, right? This is literally like the 5 Asians and the one American, and the American's doing all the eating, and he's like, man, if I don't do all the eating, man, if I don't do all the fucking eating, you guys are all fucked, right? All of you are fucked if I don't do all the eating, right? And like Peter Schiff's point, and he said this like 10, 15 years ago, but the point he made was that eventually there will come a day when the Asians all band together and they're like, you know what, let's just kick the American off the island. Because like all he does is fucking sit there and eat all day. He doesn't even say thank you to us, and he's just like a fucking asshole anyways, right? He's not doing any real work, right? We can do the eating. Maybe we do a little bit of eating. The G-Man says America is the largest calorie. That's exactly right, bro. It's the goyim. It's the goyim doing all the eating. Oh man, bro. Yeah, but that's the point, man. That's the point. It's like America can do what it does because Europe, Australia, and like Japan, South Korea, they finance these things, right? If it wasn't the case, right, and America had to live within its means, it couldn't do these expensive projects in like oil, gas, and all these other things, right? Like, oh, enough, we produce this much energy and this, that, and the other thing. Well, I mean, okay, but try doing that when you don't have access to the world's credit card, right? Try it, and come back to us and let us know how it went.
No leader has ever said like we benefit from using this US dollar as the world trade currency.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Oh, all right. Let's see. That moment when people are trying to talk to you about anything other than a violent revolt. uh, Sky News. Being mentioned in the Epstein files is not a sign of wrongdoing. And then people are like, what an odd thing to say. Uh, so much bullshit going on. Elon Musk lashes out Legacy Media for reporting on his exchange with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, whatever. He's a fucking pedo himself.
He is really squirming.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. He's fucking, yeah.
Yeah, 11 hours ago, Malcolm did find a a great quote from September 4, 2021 from J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
Remember when we learned that our wealthiest and most powerful people were connected to a guy who ran a literal child sex trafficking ring?
Mm-hmm.
And then that guy died mysteriously in a jail, and now we just don't talk about it.
Very good point.
I
Yeah.
mean, okay, yeah, I haven't really heard J.D. Vance say much on Epstein. I'm guessing Vance is thinking with 2028 in mind, and he's probably just hoping either Trump dies in office or something happens that they up Trump's Alzheimer's medication so he stops saying so many stupid things.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
Sir Knez, like in your community around you, like what's the feeling in real life for you? Like, do you think, I don't know, like what is there support for JD Vance? Could you see that in amongst your community?
I mean, J.D. Vance has the advantage that, A, he's not Donald Trump. He's clearly smarter than Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he may also have the advantage that he'll be running against Governor Newsom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That, I mean, I don't know if people understand how hated Gavin Newsom is by most of America.
Mm-hmm.
Being the
Yeah, I grew
governor
up
of
watching him
California
on like real
is
time. I
like
used to watch that show.
being the
He's
governor of
bad.
California is like trying to win like a Canadian election by saying, you're the mayor of Montreal and then proudly, taking credit for all of the far left stuff that goes on in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not. I think the one thing that he could have going towards him is the only people that rival Donald Trump in nobody could be this stupid appears to be the Democratic election team. The Democrats have just, for the past 12 years, run three of the worst campaigns in history. First, you ran Hillary Clinton, a woman who has the charisma of a wet dish rag and who is most famous for jokes about people in her circle dying, suiciding.
Mm-hmm.
Then you ran Joe Biden, who everybody noticed was looking a little foggy in 2020, and pretended for 4 years, no, he's not senile. Then they ran Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Mm-hmm.
Could you find two less charismatic people anywhere?
Pretty brutal, yeah.
Now it looks like, okay, Governor Newsom looks better, is better looking than either of those three. He is a better public speaker. But
He's so
while a lot of
smarmy and smug.
Democratic liberals think California is a goal to go towards, most people look at California as a failed state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, Sir Kenaz, none of that matters if Trump keeps this trajectory up.
I mean,
yeah.
I expect there is a non-trivial chance it's Sunday, February 1st, 2026. I would be surprised if we haven't seen the hard economic downturn by November 2028.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That puts a whole new spin on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch a 40% drop in the stock market and sudden Weimar inflation,
yeah,
it's anybody's guess as to who winds up coming up on top for that 2028 election.
yeah.
And they can try and stifle the precious metal market as much as they want to, but that can only go on for so many weeks.
Yeah. People are sending this meme out. Okay, I'm gonna share this to the spaces. All right. So, Sir Kenneth, remember Remember that meme of like two parents holding up an umbrella, and like
Yeah,
there's like a rainbow flag that's dropping down, and the umbrella shields them, right? So it's like so someone else quotes the image now, and after this Epstein stuff, he just like says, okay, your entire ideology was created by a group of elite pedophiles to keep you as a docile servant. And then he says, you were groomed by billionaire pedophiles to believe everyone but them were torturing kids. Right? And here's the thing, Sir Kenneth, like you were saying on the Telegram group, this is what's going to happen now. It's going to be like, oh, you're fake because of AI or whatever the fuck. And then the other guys are going to no, you're fake because of the AI or whatever the fuck. Right? And so now it's going to be a swirling on the toilet bowl, and both of them are going to fight, basically.
And it's just more hyper reality.
Hyper reality bullshit. Yeah, there we go.
I remember there was this, her name escapes me, but he was this Looney Tune, like fringe journalist who was constantly convinced that Russia was in everything the way that certain people are convinced the Jews are in everything. But she made a really interesting point about how the Russians use disinformation. The Russians don't care if you believe like Putin. They don't care if you believe the government. They just don't want you believing anybody else. So they basically flooded the Russian media markets with a whole bunch of crap until nobody trusts any media.
Yeah.
And that seems to be what they've tried here. The problem is Americans are more gullible than Russians.
Oh dear. Okay. Okay, what do we have over here? I'll read a few more of these. Yeah, I think Sir Malcolm wouldn't be able to show up today. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. We had a good show anyways. Okay, Borzai. 4chan doesn't matter and never has, except for maybe during 2016. These feelings and thoughts existed before it was relevant and existed after it was relevant. It didn't create facts out of thin air. It's on you if you continue to simp for compromised elites. Alright, and then Don Stab Jr. watching Trump shills panic about their Epstein files and ICE ineptitude while calling other people panicans is sublime. Having one's ankles a bit by philo-Semites who feel the inadequacy and moral failing of their own positions is a satisfying feel. Yeah. No, it's the end of Western civilization, Sir Kenneth. Pack it up. It was a good run while it lasted, but there we go. It's game, set, and match, right?
Yes, I actually believe like a BRICS future, things are looking bright.
I mean, I think people will. I don't really believe in the multipolarity stuff. I think it's more going to be like a dark age, but dark ages aren't that bad, right? Dark ages aren't that bad, so.
After the darkness comes the light.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And with that being said, Sir Kenneth, we got like 1 hour, 40 minutes plus. I think it's time to call it quits. You want to do the mandatory closing?
The mandatory closing? The doom cometh.
The doom cometh. Thanks everyone for showing up. And we are going to have part 2, part 3, part 4, because God Hates America is going to be coming back loads of times.
Sir Cleveland's coming up?
I believe so, yeah. It's Saturday.
Love it.
All right.
Okay, take care.
All right, see you guys. Thank you.
Your soul is mine. Fate